about the fucking short hairs.
Right.
And Donna wrote a book that basically said this was corrupt as hell, and I discovered what it was all about, and it was rigged, you know. And then, what's her name, Elizabeth Warren, as much as confirmed it on television, she's like, oh yeah. And then she tried to walk it back a couple weeks later when she was the poster child for that being a legitimate rigging of the system, you know. So the whole thing is just corrupt as hell. But you're right. I mean, they could not, you know, be more biased. But the funny thing I was talking about was when Donna Brazile went on that show and got interviewed by Whoopi Goldberg, they don't quite know what the hell to make out of her, because she's like a turncoat almost.
She is a turncoat. They have to like her, though.
They have to like her because of the position that she's in.
And she's black.
And she's black. And Donna, remember, Donna was the one that was feeding Hillary the goddamn town hall questions. Do you remember she got caught doing that?
And she lied about it.
And she lied about it and then got caught again, you know? So the whole thing is so damn corrupt.
So how do you know when a liar's not lying anymore?
Mouth's not moving or something, or they tell you?
Yeah, they tell you they're not lying. You know, that's the whole joke.
Pretty good rule to live by right there.
Apparently Biden's book said that one reason he didn't run, not just because his son died, but he was scared of Hillary.
Yeah. I don't doubt it.
Scared of the Clinton. Scared of the Clinton.
Actually, I think Biden's at least honest.
Biden's not honest.
No.
Yeah, you're crazy.
Okay.
Biden's a drunk.
Hey,
you know?
Hey!
What? Where's my beer?
Hey, I lost that whole sheet of paper with a bet on.
Really, I'm
sure you did. Yeah. You must.
I don't think Biden is wonderful. He's not pure by any means.
They got to win 5 out of 7.
That's my take on it.
Get to 8 wins, man.
I'm so ignorant of politics, John.
Done.
I am so ignorant.
I wish I still had that.
I'm actually principled. I mean, I really, honest to God, believe that people should want the best for this country, and that party should not be number one and all that.
So the problem, Tom, is that
I truly try to believe it.
There is not an inherent desire for good in this country right now.
It's party trumps everything.
Their vision of what their ideal, you know, when their myopic vision of what should be in this country is very, very scary. You know, the Dems. Bernie, I mean, we had a fucking socialist presidential candidate. Can you believe that? In the United States.
And applauded.
Yeah. The people are so dumb. People have been re-educated into thinking that
this computer is screaming. I don't know what they did, but bravo. Okay, I'm listening.
That's why we created the only mattress built.
They've completely.
They probably just turned it off, turned it back on again.
That goes a long way. They've completely redefined the words fascist and stuff to basically be the moniker that we attach to everything right wing. So they've villainized the right wing through the media, but it's been a conscious effort. They've literally redefined it in the dictionaries now. If you take an older dictionary and compare it to a modern dictionary definition of the word fascism and stuff, they've literally changed the definition of the word to more encompass right-wing ideology. Well, it couldn't be any
Oh, honest to God?
Yes. I'm not kidding, Tom. If we redefine the language, we control it.
Oh,
okay?
Right. Well, just like the, what's the group?
Antifa, baby. Come on,
that is fascist.
You go ahead.
That is fascism. They call themselves
That's
Antifa.
unbelievable.
But even that's a misnomer. What the hell does that mean?
Anti-fascism?
Yes, but their definition of fascism is alt-right, the hardcore right, which is
Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate you being.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino with a privilege, yes, a true privilege, being here to help you with your consumer problems, questions, and complaints. We are live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on KHOW Radio, live on KRDO Radio. That's in the Springs. We also have live on the iHeart Radio app all over, and then downloaded on iTunes and everywhere else you can find us. Now, I'm getting some mail. I got some people I have asked, if you listen from far away, call us. We're going to send you stuff, or email us. I have people in Great Britain. One woman in particular emailed me. I have someone in Russia. a Russian, not an American in Russia, but a Russian who finds it very interesting. We have a few, for some reason, many in the Philippines. It's so nice to know that. So consumer problems, questions, and complaints stem all cultures, really. Of course, you have different kinds of problems. In Italy, you would be talking about Fiat instead of General Motors. If you have a problem, the important thing is we want to solve them, the problems, and we want to use these lessons we learn universally to avoid problems. Welcome. I've been doing this for so long that it amazes me. I still find new problems. Of course, with technology came a whole slew of problems. The internet became a whole marketplace of problems. Whatever your problem, question, or complaint, that's what we do. We solve them. We also talk about issues in general. Today, I'd like to just tell you I have a new article up at Troubleshooter.com, and it will also be across our social media, and it's about extended warranties on vehicles. That's a really important topic, and I break down what to look for because I've always talked about it from time to time, but this delineates specifically what you should look for and avoid in an extended warranty. But today is not car day, although if you have a car problem, we'll talk. I do want to talk to John Fuller, Fuller Law, personal injury attorney. Somebody says, Tom, why do you have people from your referral list on other than shameless promotion? Well, it's not shameless promotion at all. It's just plain old, good, old-fashioned knowledge base. Why not use the knowledge base I have? Every day we have somebody here. Now, that doesn't mean he talks just about personal injury, but that's what he does. That is an entire faction of law that, I mean, it's an amazing part of law. I can't believe how many personal injury attorneys there are. So I ask, in a way of curiosity, John, seriously, why are there so many personal injury attorneys, do you feel? Why? Is it an area of law that is that attractive to an individual? One told me that it's pretty freeing, that you can do your own thing more so than in other areas of law, but I don't know why. First of all, let's acknowledge we do have a huge selection of people.
Yeah, there is quite a few people that practice it, but I think the attraction for me is that I'm able to help people.
Yeah.
And that's not something you can do in all areas of bankruptcy. But all of my clients have been injured. All of my clients are going through the same challenges, and by doing this every day, over and over, I'm able to help those people kind of put things back to order.
I know how you feel, because when we can get something happening here and we hear we solved the problem, we literally get giddy. We get happy about it. So it has to be more than money. Otherwise, you would get depressed doing this kind of work.
No, it's definitely more than money. We face challenges where, I mean, our clients sometimes suffer injuries that are truly life-changing. And helping our clients get through those issues and to help restore some sense of normalcy to their lives is very rewarding.
And insurance companies have tried to do a job on the personal injury industry, painting people as money hungry or just looking for a buck and not being real. And that is such a small percentage of people. Just like with bankruptcy, they try to paint a picture of people who are irresponsible with their credit cards, and all they want to do is get out of it, and they went out and spent and they want to get out of it. They don't look at somebody who has a child with a brain tumor and they went broke trying to get the medical treatment. They don't look at people who have had true problems in life. The same with personal injury. I mean, a lot of people are 2 or 3 paychecks, maybe 1 paycheck away from utter despair, right?
It's frightening.
And I knew a guy, an electrician. He was injured in an accident, an uninsured motorist. This guy could not go out and work. And literally in 2 weeks, he was destitute. 2 weeks. His family they literally couldn't afford groceries. That's the kind of thing that I like to see people helped with. Those kinds of situations. Anyway, John Fuller, Fuller Law, Fuller Personal Injury Law, personalinjuryco.com is the website. He'll be here to chime in on not just your questions about personal injury, some of the emails we've gotten, plus he's just going to chime in because he's a good guy. And I want you to get to know John Fuller. Also, Mark Major is with us, so he'll definitely be chomping here. Larry, speaking of warranties, you have you're actually talking about a warranty on a vehicle. That is my new article up at Troubleshooter.com. What's going on, Larry?
Okay, yeah, mine is not specifically about extended.
That's
warranty.
okay.
Okay, and what I'm calling about is I have a Volkswagen EOS, and
a Volkswagen what?
EOS, EOS.
Oh, EOS, okay.
Yeah, it's 2012.
Gotcha.
And we purchased it in October 17, 2016.
That doesn't matter as much right now, or might. I mean, you're giving me a date for a reason. What's the problem with, sir?
Yeah, well, the problem with it now is that I had it diagnosed last Friday, and then they said that...
How many miles on this vehicle, sir?
It has 55,000 miles on it.
Oh, wow. That's pretty low miles. And the warranty was for how long?
What I'm calling about is that regarding the powertrain.
Yeah, but I just want to know about the regular warranty. What was it? A 36,000 3-year? What was it?
It was what I noticed when I went online. They said 5 years.
When you bought the car, did you buy it new?
Oh no.
Okay. When did you buy it?
I bought it in 2016.
That's what you said. Okay. That's what you said.
And it went down October.
I'm sorry, I didn't pick up. Okay, gotcha.
2017.
What went down?
So what it is that it would all come to the conclusion. It ended up being the engine. There's an engine failure.
Okay. The engine blew or what?
No, they said. They said all of my PSI, they did the cylinders, they did the test.
What was wrong with the engine? Why did it fail? There's a reason. What did they call it?
Well, all they have is that they did the cylinder check. One cylinder checked out 70 PSI.
Tell me, were you driving when this happened? Tell me.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the engine light came on.
Okay, and then what did you do?
Checked out.
And what did you do when the engine light came on?
When the engine light came on, parked it until we can take it to be checked.
Okay.
That's what the manual said.
Okay, and you took it to be checked, and they said your engine is toast.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this car in 2012 carried a warranty, and the warranty expired. Obviously, the drivetrain does not cover the engine. You're talking about the drivetrain warranty on this one was what? What was the drivetrain warranty?
They said 5 years or 60,000 miles.
Okay, 5 or 60. So you're under on. Well, you're just on. When would 5 years be up on this car? When was it put in service? When do you know? Do you know when the warranty's up?
Well, that's what. Just a moment, Tom.
Because your drivetrain warranty. Let's just get right to it. It's not going to cover you. Okay, it's not going to cover your engine.
Okay.
It's just not. I mean, that's the manufacturer's warranty. And besides, you bought it used, and most warranties aren't transferable unless they're transferred the right way.
Okay.
But what I want to know is, did someone tell you the drivetrain warranty would cover it?
No, not at all.
You were hoping it did.
I was hoping it did, and as I was looking online, I was hoping that we were within the circle of the 5 years, and that was my question right there.
Okay,
I was hoping it was.
I have never heard the powertrain, it's called, or the drivetrain. It means it's really hard to define. It's actually they're actually different, but they use them synonymously. But the warranty are usually extended. And you know what? I want to get someone on. In fact, let's do that. This is good education. So many people, Suzanne, want to know what is a drivetrain and a powertrain, because they are different. And let's talk to maybe Alaramas, or we can go to anyone. I want to talk specifically about people who know about warranties and the drivetrain. Even Rolly Purifoy up there, even though he's an owner, he knows a lot about this. Or we can get Jerry in the service department at Purifoy. I'd like to talk about, or we could go to Colorado Springs Dodge, and we can talk to Andy down there, Andy Barella. We have a number of sources. This is good education as to what a drivetrain is, a powertrain, and what exactly does it mean when they talk about a warranty, okay? This is a good thing, so hold on. and we'll see if there's any hope for you. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. We have more coming up.
There's a big misunderstanding when it comes to drivetrain warranties.
Air conditioning traffic center.
Well, what would you say a drivetrain warranty is?
I would just assume engine and tranny and
Down to differential.
yeah.
That's what I would think.
Okay, the drivetrain is transmission, engine, and other parts that convey power. Okay, the drivetrain is one of the largest systems. Gets point A to point B. So, then what does it cover? So a 5-year drivetrain or 10-year drivetrain, you think would cover the engine? Why are most engines excluded?
With your traffic and weather,
I didn't know they were. I thought drivetrain and powertrain was the same thing.
I did too.
That's what I thought, but it says it's not. Here, hold on.
Headliner, Debbie Boone, got her
need
defended
a
for
damn
offensive
education.
performance.
Apparently, all these years.
No, hold on. Here's what they say.
A short drive from Denver for a family
There I was going through life.
Just thinking I was smart as hell.
So you get what you need when you need it, and you get it done right. Location in Lakewood on Colfax, just west of Wadsworth, or in Aurora on Havana, just south of Stevetown. Sheridan Auto Tech.
Hi, this is Gary Romero, owner of Devon's Pub. Devon's is one of Southeast Denver's
You know what?
best-kept secrets, where smoking is allowed.
I think a dealer would be better. I think a dealer's second thought.
HD TVs to catch all of your favorite sports.
Excellent.
We offer a wide variety of top-shelf scotch and spirits.
The hard part is figuring out what the date of service was on that car. But he's going to be real close to it, you know, being in 17.
Patio. Enjoy the good times at Devon's Pub. 5 blocks west of I-25 on Hampton in the Happy Canyon Shopping Center.
Are you a homeowner who's tired of paying mortgage insurance? Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky from my friends at American Finance.
Right number though,
If
right?
you own a home in the super hot Denver market, you've got to hear about another way that American Financing can save you money. We all know home values are higher than they've ever been. Some people's homes are worth 40% more than what
Can you
you
get
bought.
everything covered in Florida on
I don't know. I'm still fooling with it. I had to fire my public adjuster down there.
Why?
Why not let the salary
I want to know about that.
American Financing?
So it's just a fucking scam.
Simple loan refinance.
You know, it's a
Even if
scam.
the original lender
So
can help
this
you.
guy calls me. Okay, now I've got
Public
220
adjusters are not scams.
This was a scam.
What did he do
Okay.
wrong?
There are no upfront fees.
So,
you may even be able to lock in a lower
Picture my house, okay? I've got 220 feet of fence that's been destroyed, okay? Fence is down. I've got drywall hanging from the ceiling in my garage, okay? I had water come in the roof on another section and soak the wall, and we had mold growing in there, okay? This is shit that needs to be mitigated now, okay? You wouldn't tolerate that going on in your garage. You wouldn't tolerate a fence at your property being down. This guy was like, you can't fix anything. Leave it the way it is, okay? I need time to fight with them and not let them demand re-inspections and re-inspections and re-inspections. He's like, for me to get this claim up to $40,000 or $50,000 is going to take me 8 months, and you can't mitigate shit in the meantime. I'm like, dude, look, here's the deal, okay? I'm not leaving my fence laying down for 8 months, okay? I've got fencing that's connected to 3 different neighbors. We're already moving forward on fixing that, okay? We're going to basically get in a pissing match here where you're going to try to assert that the fence is $50 a foot when it actually cost me $30 a foot to get it repaired. 30 I thought was a rip-off. There's no way in hell anybody would pay 50 for a wooden fence at, you know, $50 a foot. But he's like, if you pay 30, then the debate is over as to what it's going to cost. So I can't keep saying 50 if it only costs you 30. And I'm like, well, dude, I have dogs and shit. If I look out the back window and my Chihuahua is nose to nose with a 5-foot iguana, which is what lives there, my wife is going to shoot me, okay? So my sense of self-preservation says we have to fix the damn fence as soon as possible. A hole in my ceiling in the garage and half the drywall taken out of the walls in the garage, I'm not going to sit there and look at that every time I go in and out of the garage all winter long. So I'm going to fix it. That's just my nature, to mitigate my damage, get the property back to shape.
Your policy says you have to mitigate damage.
I have to mitigate but not repair. Right. But I'm not going to leave the stuff unrepaired for 8 months to let this public adjuster sit there and dink around. They were like, it's...
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. John Fuller, attorney at law, is with me from the referral list. Listen, you know, actually, I want to amend some stuff. When we were talking about powertrain and we're talking about drivetrain, it's amazing how many different definitions you get. Some say it's the same, others say they're different, with the powertrain being more restrictive than the drivetrain includes more, they say. But in all cases, I've seen the drivetrain include the engine. So when you have a warranty for 3 years, 36,000 miles, and they say the drivetrain is for 5 years or 60,000 miles, then that would tell me, in my understanding, the engine is covered. Yet I have seen people turn down for the engine after 3 years saying it's not included in the drivetrain. So I looked that up. Some manufacturers give drivetrain or powertrain warranties but exclude parts of the engine. So it gets very confusing, and I think he's got a good question. He wants to know, hey, does my Volkswagen have coverage or not? And he might have a point. Now, I'm talking to Jerry Fernandez as our expert. He's a service director at Purefoy Chevrolet, and he deals with these things all the time. So, Jerry, first of all, do you guys look at a powertrain and a drivetrain as being the same thing?
Basically, yes. Basically, it's the same thing. What we run into is there's so many different items, and every car is different. Now, we know on a drivetrain or powertrain, we know the engine, transmission, differential is a covered component. Now, items bolted to that, whether it's the block or the transmission or differential, well, a lot of times stuff isn't covered, things aren't covered, that are bolted to those components.
So when it says the engine is covered under a drivetrain or powertrain, is it talking about literally just the block and the head?
Yes, block and head, exactly.
Okay, that's probably where the confusion comes in, because so many things are outside of that you would consider the engine. But would an oil pump, that's part of the drivetrain, right?
Yes, that would be a covered component.
Okay, now, let's talk specifics. Larry,
yes.
Your engine gave out, they did a PSI test or a compression test, but that doesn't really tell us the cause. If it was caused by a covered component in that engine, and you're under 60,000 miles, and you're under 5 years, Jerry, are these drivetrain warranties automatically transferred to the new owner when they buy a used car? Do you know? Or like with Chevy, do you have to register?
Not on our stuff. Our stuff goes with the vehicle regardless of ownership.
So I believe that's probably the way it is with most.
I would think so, nowadays, yeah.
So, Larry, you might have something here depending on the cause, because if it's covered, if it's caused by an uncovered part, then you have a problem.
Okay.
Exactly.
So it depends on what it is. Do you have any idea? How long has it been? You said it went down in October. So have they given you a cause yet?
No, they didn't. They didn't give me a cause. I didn't take it to dealership, but I took it to people.
Are they fixing it?
No, they're not fixing it.
Okay, good. I mean, good, because then if they left it the way it was, we can get this analyzed for you.
Okay.
I think that's what we need to do. Jerry, have you? So really, then the drivetrain warranty does cover a lot.
Yes, and that's the thing we do. Anytime, because there are certain vehicles that actually water pumps will cover under that, and some of them they won't. So what we do here is once we check a vehicle, we run the VIN, and then we check it per that VIN number to make sure what coverage is, because everything is different nowadays.
Okay.
There's a lot of components that are covered, but you wouldn't think would be because of a powertrain, because of the word powertrain. One thing for the listener, yeah, definitely get it to a dealer, though, because if you have someone else tear that apart, then you're going to have a hard time getting the manufacturer, to help
even tearing it apart, even tearing it apart and looking at it.
Yeah, exactly. Have the dealer, if there's any doubt.
Did they already tear it up, Larry?
Oh no. The people there said what they do basically all changes or whatever.
All right. Okay.
He said he would not do that.
All right.
Because they said
you need to get it to a dealer. That's really what you need to do. You need to get it to a dealer, but I would have an independent inspect it first. I would have someone like SOS Inspections or Automotive MDs look at it and pay the diagnostic fee, find out what it is on your side, then take it to a dealer. Now, you know, it would be different. If you're dealing with Purefoy Chevrolet, that's, I mean, see, I don't know the dealer you're talking about. That's why I can't tell you, go straight to the dealer. If it was Purefoy, truly, I'd say go take it to them. They're not going to lie to you. If it was Colorado Springs Dodge, take it to them. But I don't know who you're dealing with. It's a wild card. So have SOS or Automotive MDs. They're both on my referral list. Have one of those guys. They're both excellent. Check it. And then find out the cause. Go to the dealer to confirm and to get warranty if it's under the mark. You have to know the in-service date in 2017, because if it was in service before November, which it's likely a new car would have been put in service August, September, October, somewhere in there. You could be right over the 5-year mark. But it actually happened. Yeah, see, it happened in October.
But they could have put a 2012 in service in late 2011. So it could have been over.
You mean early 2011? It could. I mean.
Well, no.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It could have. You're right. You're right about that. I forgot about that. If it was a brand new car back in 2012, you're right. It could have been put in service in 11.
Late 11.
You're right. That's going to be that's your main problem, Larry. It's going to be. That's what it's going to be. The in-service date.
But I bet the service provider at a Volkswagen place can run the VIN and tell you what the date in-service date is.
Right. That would be the first thing to do, too, so you don't waste so much money, Larry. Find out the in-service date. If it's over 5 years, you're just not going to get it fixed. We have an update on a landscaping problem. Who has the update now? Is it one of us or is it her?
It's the caller, Tom, because the landscaper wouldn't return our calls from last week.
But the landscaper sure as hell knew we were talking about him.
Yes, but she has an update since then.
I hope something happened good. Heather, this is the guy that, you know, that he brags about how great his company is. How much did you give this guy so far?
We gave him $7,500.
$7,500, and what did you get in return?
Garbage.
Jeez. So what did he say after it's been on radio?
He hasn't said anything.
You don't have a... Okay.
He hasn't said anything, but we had an independent plumber and another landscaper come out, and the plumber took a look at the gas line he installed, and that runs under my children's bedrooms that he installed, and he said, "It's so faulty, I won't touch it. Let me turn everything off. It's a good thing you never turned this on, otherwise it would have blown."
And
he was like, and here's all the different reasons why it would start leaking within the matter of months.
And you have that in writing, right?
I have it in writing.
So when you said you got nothing, he did, though, attempt to install the gas line.
He installed it very incorrectly.
What else did he do, whether it's incorrectly or not? I just need to know what he actually did.
He installed French drains in our back and front yards, also incorrectly.
Gas lines and French drain.
He framed out for a concrete pathway to be put in.
Is that also bad?
Oh, terrible! He actually cut through.
So he did nothing. He did nothing right. So when you said garbage, you mean it.
I really do. Yeah.
This is terrible. And Sean has not returned your calls.
No, he refused to meet. We told him that we wanted to meet with him in person before he grabbed his tools to discuss our refund, and instead he called the police and threatened and said that we were trying to steal his tools.
And you gave in?
Well, we said we didn't want him on our property until we met in person, and then we didn't want to face criminal charges of theft, so we said, just take your tools, whatever. I don't want you near my property anymore.
Okay. What's his number? Let's give it out. Suzanne, we got to go to war with this guy. We got to stop this guy from doing business.
We also found out he wasn't paying his employees.
Do we have photographs, Suzanne?
I don't know.
Okay, Dan, did we get photographs on this one? Who's working on Shaw?
No, I wasn't working on it.
Did we give this to someone to work on when you called in last? I thought we did.
Well, we're waiting. We were seeing if he would call us back or not, and it's only been since Thursday. We try to give these guys a few days, and then she called in for an update.
What do you think?
The usual, didn't use the referral list.
Yeah, I know. I've obviously.
Oh, yep.
And hold on now, Heather, here's what we're going to do. I think we're going to give the rest of today, and then tomorrow I think we go to war. Can you... Susanna, specifically mark going to war tomorrow. We're going to give out all the information about him. Mark?
Put it down for 10:15 going to war.
Okay, 10:15 going to war. If we don't hear from Shaw Landscaping, and then I want his phone numbers, his name, any photographs we can get, and we'll publish it on Sleaze Brigade. Okay, Suzanne? I have to update that Sleaze Brigade for sure. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Wow, I'm getting so pissed at this happening all the time. We have a problem with a home inspection with Martin. Martin, what's happening?
Hi, Tom. How are you?
What's going on? I'm getting frustrated. What about you?
Oh, I've been frustrated for about 6 months.
Why? Why? What's happening?
I purchased a house a year ago in June, and the house had a tile roof on it. And not being familiar with tile roofs, and there was some indication of some leaking inside the house.
Did you have it inspected?
We asked our realtor to get an inspection, and yes, we got an inspection.
So did you have a home inspection of your own that you did?
No, we did not.
Okay, hold on. We'll talk about this coming right up, okay? There's been a lot of discussion about stem cell therapy on this show and around the whole metro area, around the country. People bragging about stem cell therapy and how great they do it. I'm going to give you some realities. Number one, if they ship the fluid in, it's not living stem cells. Can't be done. Number two, if they don't harvest it from you, living stem cells aren't being used. Number three, if they don't use guided injections with imagery, like x-rays or some highfalutin technology stuff, they cannot do it accurately. If you don't have MDs administering it on site, forget about it. Do not settle for a chiropractor and a nurse. I'm going to tell you, the first doctor ever to do stem cell therapy, ever, and to actually start offering stem cell therapy, Dr. Christopher Centeno in Broomfield. And he is a pioneer, along with Centeno Schultz, his clinic, and Regenex. They are helping thousands, in fact, 14,000 patients. And they do everything right when it comes to the actual harvesting and administering and the imagery, and that's the way it's done. They have helped people with ACL tears. Yeah, they can repair most ACL tears. They have helped people with back, shoulders, hands, knees, hips. Here's what you do. Give them a call for a consultation and go to the real deal. Please don't settle for less. Now, the other guys are using amniotic fluid and growth factors. They're not going to harm you. They're not terrible, but they're not stem cell therapy. And believe me, they're charging just as much, and they should not. 303-963-9201. Centeno Schultz. 303-963-9201.
You got to add Century RV on your live list
for today.
Yes. Does it replace anybody, or just one Adam?
Can you find? It's for Century RV.
Is it on the line? I mean,
it is, but it's. Once again, it's not live. It's as a live, but I got to figure it out.
Okay.
Hey, that Century RV one, we're going to just do it live.
Okay, gotcha.
It's just, I figured out why it's happening, though, because I booked it between 10 and noon.
You hear about this one?
If they do a refinance for you, they put you in a better
Pregnant
position
employees.
before.
Oh, pregnant employees. Stay after
These things, credit optimization, which means they will work with you to optimize.
She was fired.
And if you're approved, they can do small.
If she was going to keep the child, can you imagine who is this?
You want to take a guess?
You can pick any term you want, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Marco Bendinelli. Holy shit.
You don't have to go all the way back to 30 days on the rate guarantee.
Holy shit. Send me that article. What is it, Denver Post? Holy shit. What do you make of it? Did you read the whole thing? He's really saying if you're...
Fucking stupid. That's dumb.
But why would he... It doesn't even make sense.
Marshall does some shit from time to time that defies common explanation.
Well, he wants to go after all the judges.
They've gone after him plenty of times.
That's probably why. Marco Bendinelli, what was that, Denver Post?
Yeah, just put Marco Bendinelli pregnant, and that should get you pretty close.
And he's pregnant?
Longer and healthier hair.
And then,
hair repair mask, essential hair oil, and more. And if gift wrapping isn't
Holy shit. Did you see this thing on Bendinelli?
What?
The Post is reporting that he fired women that were pregnant.
Fired the guy on our list?
Yeah. It's on the Denver Post. I'm reading it.
He's currently being sued right now for firing an employee a day after she informed him that she was pregnant. And they asked her if she was going to keep the baby.
Jennifer Rodriguez.
Marco?
Yes.
Marco.
Well,
his law firm.
That was in here just the other day.
Ordered the law firm from engaging in pregnancy discrimination. I didn't even know that was a real thing, is it?
Apparently when you fire them.
Wrong.
The agency is also seeking background.
Wait, with other stuff? Wait a minute. Like what?
Well, he's been disciplined. He's been...
For what?
It's all out there.
Remember on there.
Well, I mean...
Signed a client's name to a settlement agreement without having permission to do that. Yeah.
Featuring steak night every Wednesday and all you can eat crab legs nightly. Plus, Monday through Friday,
Negotiating with representatives of the law firm.
$19.99 for a limited time. It's the best value in Blackhawk. The flavors of fall meal deal.
He got nailed by a federal judge. They fined his ass like $60,000 for misrepresentation of stuff in a bad faith case. Then he got nailed in Adams County for some of the same shit.
This doesn't make sense. She was 6 months pregnant when they hired her. How the hell is that possible? And then they asked her if she's pregnant?
She didn't tell him that she was pregnant. It was just fact.
She was already more than 6 months pregnant.
Then like, Miss Rodriguez, you seem to be packing them on a little bit.
Experience and notifies them to apply for your job. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. The right candidates are out there. This is how you find them. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. You're trying ZipRecruiter for free.
I don't know. This sounds kind of weird to me. I'd be curious how this goes through. I didn't even know that's a protected class.
I want to look at some of the other stuff he's talking about.
Ross Kaminsky.
Oh my gosh.
Pregnancy discrimination.
No, not just that. Just some other stuff.
They asked her if she was going to keep the baby or if she's acting as a surrogate.
So says she.
What, because she wasn't married,
Well,
maybe?
the EEOC filed a lawsuit against them.
They actually took it on?
Yep.
Sean Hannity today at 1, Glenn Beck tonight at 7. Only on Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
Hello, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. We have a lot going on, and I love it when we start out right off the bat and we have problems that we can sink our teeth into. People, beware. Beware of this landscaper. We're going to give them a day. Shaw Landscaping. We're going to give them a day to get back to us. You have to check people out before you hire them. Please check them out. Paul's got a comment on that one. Go ahead, Paul. And then we'll come back to Martin's Roof. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, Tom, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You know, any gas lines or propane lines that are, you know, installed should be regulated by the Department of Regulatory Agencies, DORA. I can't see how a landscaper should be certified to run gas or propane lines. I mean, if it's underground, it's got to be 36 inches deep.
Well, he's not, but they don't do anything about it. You know, we complain to people all the time, Paul. We can't get district attorneys most of the time. We can't get building authorities. We can't get any kind of people to care about consumer problems at all.
Well, you should be able to get a cease and desist order on that guy if he's not certified to run gas or natural gas or propane lines. That stuff's all got to be done by a certified plumber, or it's got to be done by a certified propane installation tech or
I'll believe you.
gas tech.
I'll believe you, and we'll go to the right authority. But seldom do we ever get action. Seldom. We have to have something so egregious to get anyone to even look at it. It's terrible. That's why these guys love Denver. They love Colorado. They love it. You know, in Florida, people have been sent to jail for life. For life. For consumer fraud. For life. In Florida has some of the strictest, most enforced consumer laws there are. Bravo to Florida. They do not take it lightly. You go to jail if you start doing stuff like that, or taking money and not coming back, or ripping off people. You go to jail. Martin, let's talk about your house. Now, when did you put the contract in for this house, Martin?
It was June of 17. And Tom, you asked if I got a house inspection, and I said no, I didn't. But my background is plumbing, heating, and mechanical.
So you did your own, right? Yeah,
and
okay.
Then the stuff that I wasn't familiar with, like the well and the roof, I hired companies to do it.
Now I understand. Yeah, sure, sure, that's fine. Like so on the roof, who did they hire to inspect it?
Well, what they did, they went to a company called Roof Brokers Incorporated, and they got an inspection done by them, and we were supplied with 3 quotes to do the repairs and put a 5-year, certification on it. So, and that certification would cover any future leaks in the roof.
And what did you go with? Which quote?
I went with a company called Colorado Certified Roofing. They were all within $50 of each other.
Okay, so, Colorado Certified Roofing, and what did they do for you?
Well, they've done what the certifications, says that they will do. If you
what did they do?
If you get a leak, they'll come out and repair the leak.
No, but what did they do for the certification? What did they do for you, Colorado Certified Roofing?
Oh, well, it was really Roof Brokers, I believe. But what the original quote and certification required was that we replaced, like 14 broken roof tiles on the roof, and that's all we had to do. So,
okay, gotcha. You don't have to elaborate. If that's all you did, 14 tiles, fine. So now,
understand, they did the inspection from a satellite imagery, according to the owner of this company, and now that we're 6 months down the road and we have leaks all over the place, and I've had my insurance company involved, and I got another inspection by another company that I paid for, I need a whole new roof to the tune of $34,000.
And had you known this, of course, you would have negotiated it with the price.
Absolutely, and so that's what I want to
Well,
say.
you have listen. So who are you blaming? Are you blaming the first? Are you blaming the first company that did the inspection, or the second company that did the follow-up?
I believe it's the first company that got the quotes and everything, because they were supposed to do an inspection and supply us with an inspection.
And what did you sign with them? What liability did they disclaim?
They disclaimed that they have on the contract.
I don't have their. You didn't give me their contract. You only gave me. See, the most important contract you didn't give me. You gave me the contract with Colorado Roofing.
Both of them.
You did.
The one from Roof Brokers.
Okay, hold on. It must be in the back. Okay, so this is the entire contract with Roof Brokers.
Tom, let me tell you, after the fact, if you look at these 2 contracts too, you'll see that they're both signed by the same guy. So, lo and behold, the guy that owns Roof Brokers Incorporated also owns Certified Roofing.
I understand.
I had no idea up front. I did do a Google search for their reviews, them and the other companies too, and they were all about the same. So I just took the least expensive one when I did it. Yeah.
Listen, let me just look at. I just want to look at what you got for this inspection.
Yeah, it's not much.
It says the above. So I'm seeing what they disclaim here. Okay. Okay, so here, John, take a look.
Let me tell you how bad this inspection is.
Listen, you don't have to. You don't have to. I'm going to say, for argument's sake, it's a totally bad inspection, and as a result, you have a $34,000 loss. Let's just say it. There's no reason to elaborate. Okay, that's what happened. So I think, however, you agreed not to hold them responsible. John, can you see anything in there that would hold them responsible? John is looking at the disclaimer there. Is this the entire contract with them? The absolute entire...
We got the quote, and then we got
Well, that may not be enough to save them. I don't know. We're looking at it, and we'll figure it out. Why don't you hold on, and we'll figure this out over the break? Because most of these guys make you agree not to hold them responsible. That doesn't mean that they can totally rip you off. But did they or not? We'll figure it out. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. Hey, did you know if you're moving into a house, they'll look at your garage door? Of course, they'll do free inspections for people who own their homes and want to know if their garage door is safe or if they're having problems. And then they will tighten the hinge bolts, lubricate, and do safety adjustments if you mention Martino. They have garage door openers starting as low as $299, Wi-Fi ready, battery backups, and time to close feature. Give them a call, 303-565-6409, whether it's the door, any component, or the opener. 303-565-6409, oneclearchoicedoors.com.
Independent broker out getting bids.
Yeah, but this is a disclaimer. What does he disclaim?
It doesn't really disclaim anything. It just says they're not responsible. The customer has to verify their own bid.
Okay, I thought it said on the inspection. I thought it said
that section. Avoid that stretch for now if you can. A couple of other slow spots on the highway. Drive eastbound I-270 slow and punch to I-70 and watch out for a crash.
So where does he have anything to
There's
say?
nothing about an inspection in here.
No, that's what I'm saying. So there's nothing that says right here. What does it see? I don't see where he says the roof is certified.
Crash from earlier in the rush hour. Weather forecast. Sunday, May and night. The high
can you have
right now?
Can you have Daphne bring up my phone, please?
I'm Pete Wagner. 630 K-How. Woodley's Furniture and Design Furniture specializing in custom upholstery.
There's really price of certification.
Furniture imaginable. Proud to sell American-made products. Colorado.
I don't think these guys protected themselves, but did they? In other words, can they be held responsible for that? This is so lax.
They're pretty clear in saying they're not going to do the bid. These are the contractors that are doing the job, and there needs to be a separate contract with them.
I know, and this is the separate contract. The same guy signed it. This is the same guy for this company.
So he's misrepresenting that he's an independent guy soliciting bids here.
No, I think this guy exposed himself. They're even on the same, here's Colorado certified roofing.
Right.
This is Roof Brokers. These guys did the inspection. These guys did the repair. This agreement, Colorado certified roofing says customer. So they did the work. They guarantee all materials, but they don't say that the roof.
More savings for you.
There's nowhere that says, but where does this guy commit himself that it's a good roof? I don't see where he says it's a good roof.
No, it's not.
For future leaks.
Right. Provide a roof certification that covers any future leaks. But this is like a scope of work type thing.
303-471-50.
Look, all roofs attached to the main structure that are not specifically. Where's the word?
Never ever smelled or looked cleaner.
You know, Suzanne, he didn't include all the wording. I mean, it cuts off. You can't read what it says.
Just $119. 3 rooms, pre-treated, cleaned, and sanitized. In some cases,
I mean, we literally are missing half some sectors.
Zero res, they feel like new. No odor.
We're missing all kinds of wording. He needs to send it where it's complete. We can't read
it. I wouldn't have anyone else, and neither should you. When Zero Res cleans carpets, they get them really clean with their patented empowered water. No soaps, harsh chemicals, or detergent.
What he's kind of playing a dirty fool here, because he's representing himself as an independent guy that's going to go out.
Is it too fine a print?
No, come here. Look, the sentences are cut off. You can't read the rest of the sentences. It's all cut off.
Oh, let me try printing again.
But I mean, it's totally
can't read.
I could forward you the email if you want, but
forward me the email. Sure. That's better.
So I don't really have a big problem with this. He's just acting as an independent broker. Now, to the extent
that
he's
as a broker,
also
he never says anything at all about the condition of the roof.
No, but he doesn't have to. All he's saying over here is, I'm going to go solicit bids. I'm going to be your broker and earn a skim off the top of whatever bid. You know, you could envision the guy going out and finding 10 independent companies and saying, who's going to pay me the most? But what he's not really disclosing is that he's a
said it was an inspection where he said all that your roof needs is this. That's not what he's saying.
No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within just one day. The right candidates are out there. This is how you find them. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. To try ZipRecruiter for free, just go to ZipRecruiter.com/ABC Radio. That's ZipRecruiter.
Whatever happened to that one we drove out to in Firestone?
Never mind. We have their email.
They're actually, the DA is looking at it.
Okay, I need to just go to the Troubleshooter and post that article everywhere.
I am on it right
Oh,
now. I've been on the phone. So it's up and I was ready to pull the trigger and I got
We
on
need it. Okay.
message here. So yeah, I'll do that.
They don't want the DA doesn't.
Weekdays from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. It's the Cash Grab.
That's a great singer.
Denver's
Why would the customer certify that?
Bob Skowinski, mornings 5 to 10.
A new Denver Post article talks about the declining white population in rural Colorado. Former State Senator Greg
That are
Murphy is
not
from
attached,
Red
okay.
and has seen the changes. Greg joins the show Tuesday morning at 7:06 here on 630 KHAP.
Is not included. This is crazy. Okay, let's talk about it. Hi, Tom Martino here. This is crazy, people. Crazy. I'm Tom Martino.
No, I've never seen something more crazy. By the way, this guy may need Wink and Wink, bankruptcy attorneys. By the way, I don't want to make light of that. I hope you never need them, bankruptcy attorneys, Mike and Gigi Wink. They're really good people, there to help you with a Chapter 13 or a Chapter 7. Bankruptcy filings in general are down, and that's a good deal. But the ones that are there are mostly bigger because of medical catastrophes nowadays. That seems to be most of it. Winkandwink.com, 303-410-1720. If you need a fresh start, 303. And by the way, I just want to say something. This thing about medical bills, it's really causing most of the bankruptcy right now. 303-410-1720, winkandwink.com. And John Fuller shook his head. Yes, you know, John, you see with personal injury a lot of bankruptcy, don't you? Because people, if they can't get paid in time or they don't get paid enough, it's devastating.
Well, it's a real issue, and it's a real problem that we run into on these cases. But, you know, fortunately, we're able to keep most people out of bankruptcy.
Good. But
it's a real mess, and it's a problem. I mean, when you mentioned earlier that some people are just a paycheck or two away from the edge of the cliff, that's absolutely true. And it's frightening that you wind up in the hospital for 2 or 3 days, and you know your biggest concern is that you've got rent due in 4 or 5 days,
or food for the kids.
Right. It's horrible.
On this contract, John, Martin, you got all kinds of issues here that. Let's just take one at a time. You did not have a roof inspection according to any of this paperwork. There is no roof inspection at all. I don't know where you got that idea. No one certified that roof to be good. No one did any such thing. There is no inspection anywhere in your paperwork. Where did the
description of work come from?
Well, there's no it says to him he's a roof broker. And he is going to go out and solicit 3 independent bids, okay? Now let's take the second problem, the independent bids. None of those bids say that your roof, by the way, he wasn't independent because he hired his own company as a recommendation, which is you have this guy on some stuff, but you don't have him on misrepresentation of that roof being a great roof. No one said it was. What he said was he's going to go out and get 3 bids. Okay, that's what you hired him for. And he went out and got 3 bids, but they're not independent. He goes through all kinds of lengths to say they're independent, and they're not, because the one that he picked was his company. Now, on that, they say what they're going to do for the work. They don't say that's the only thing you need, and they don't say that your roof is going to be great. They say that they will certify it against leaks for 5 years. That's all it says. And they're going to exclude any interior damage. You have such a limited scope here that I don't know if you have an action. I think the guy was duplicitous and he lied to you about being independent. But John, what do you see? John Fuller, you're an excellent attorney. What do you see as a strategy? Do you think the guy could be held responsible for the whole roof? Even though I think the guy didn't do a very good job. But
Martin, was it leaking before this?
You know, the reason I wanted it is because inside of the house there were some areas that showed some water leakage, but the property disclosure from the owner had, you know, everything checked, no leaks on any of it. They said there was a gutter or downspout problems, and that was written in.
Well, because this guy in his contract said that the owner, whoever that is, it may not be you at the time, certified that there were no roof leaks.
Right.
Well, the disclosure says that, Tom. Every
okay, so he took it.
Disclosure says that there were no problems.
Let's get right to your problem, Martin, rather than wasting time. I don't think you can sue this guy for a new roof. I'm going to get right down and dirty. I don't think you'll win. That's just my humble opinion. John, what do you think based on those contracts?
Well, I think we're still missing something. I mean, this is just not a contract to replace a roof here.
I know.
But understand, Tom. You know, he says, and that's why I'm saying, how does he know that they're 14?
Martin, you can't make a giant leap because a guy found 14 or however many broken tiles, and he agreed to go out to get bids to replace them. You therefore cannot draw the conclusion he must have thought the rest of the roof was perfect, and therefore now that I need a roof, he owes it to me. That's too much of a leap. You're trying to go outside of that contract, saying, "Well, Your Honor, since he told me,"
to a guy and ask him for a roof inspection, and then a quote to certify it, and that's what we asked for.
It doesn't say that.
Yeah,
it
Martin,
doesn't say it.
All it says in his little agreement is I'm going to, and it kind of insinuates that I'm going to be an independent guy out looking for the best deal on behalf of you, the
for those
owner.
broken tiles.
Right.
He doesn't say the roof is good.
He's already replaced over 40 broken tiles, and he's got 4 areas right now on the roof that he's identified that need to be repaired that he says he'll repair. They're huge. It's over 4 stories.
You know what,
of the roof.
Martin, that's good because he certified it for 5 years and he's doing what he said. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I know, but how would you like to have somebody at your house?
I wouldn't like it, Martin. I would not like it, but I would not have signed it like that. I would have gotten a real roof inspection. Martin, I know you said you told your real estate person to get a real roof inspection. The bottom line, that's not a roof inspection. I'm Tom Martino for Ideal Home Loans. They have the rate guarantee.
They will refinance you freaking. I had to change all my passwords. I forgot my Ameritravel one.
Check out their pre-approval
I know, it's just a pain in the ass, man. You change one password, and I forget that I changed it, so I end up changing it 3 times.
Man, I live by this password keeper app that I have.
You like that?
Yeah, I do.
I'm terrified of losing the password of that.
Man, I've got so many things that have passwords on them.
So I got like 4 pages of passwords that I put in hard copy and put in the safe.
Right. So I have, this thing comes in on my fingerprint.
So how does it know?
It keeps it in your browser.
I know, but how does it know it's you?
It's my fingerprint.
So it's your fingerprint.
Yeah. What happens if I cut off your thumb?
Yeah, well then I'm fucked. And fingerless.
Just sandpaper.
I really like it. I mean, it's got tons of categories and subcategories.
Is there any way to print out all your passwords?
Yeah. And it's because it's a superior Apple iPhone product, you know? Uh-oh. I don't know if we have that kind of technology across the table over here. But it cross-populates on everything. So it's on my computer, my phone, my iPad, all that shit.
You can go in there, so if you go in there and change a password, which you might have to do because they say, hey, it's been a year and stuff, now you're going to change it. So you go into that app and change it also?
Yeah, and I mean, like, I had something unauthorized on eBay, you know, that just a transaction went through, it wasn't me. So you go in there and they go thermonuclear and disable everything of yours, so you got to rebuild the shit, PayPal and all that stuff. I don't remember what I had for dinner last night, much less, you know, some new password, because, you know, we've long gotten away from where I can have one password for everything.
Yes.
You know, so that, they're all variations of it, you know, but I do rely on that thing a lot, and I check into it sometimes, you know, every time I'm going in to log into something, that I'm trying not to make it wrong 3 times and then get blown out of it, you know. So I like it. It's like $20 a year to get their super pro, super encrypted stuff, but my shit is not stored on their data page,
That's the only thing that just kind of scared me and stuff about it.
It does me too, but it's encrypted on here, so if somebody hacks into my phone or computer, if they don't have my fingerprint.
I mean, the damn FBI can't get into these phones.
No.
There's no way, you know, the average Joe's getting into these phones, man.
After that Equifax thing, I froze everything.
Yeah, I heard you guys doing that.
Now I had to go because I switched to AT&T.
You had to unlock it.
You had to unfreeze it.
How long that take?
Oh, a day. But now they say once I go back, some people are saying that I'm going to have to pay some money.
To refreeze it?
Yeah.
Really?
Why?
Apparently Colorado only has, it's all free if, every state's different, right? Every state's got their own rules on it. If you've been a victim of fraud.
Well, you have been. Arguably, everybody was when they broke into Equifax.
Yeah,
Right.
you're right. I guess
So I've got LifeLock, you know, and I've got all these people logged into LifeLock. And I get alerts all the time for shit. If they see something weird, they let you know.
Has anything really weird ever happened?
No.
No.
Just like, but it is kind of cool, like if you apply for a mortgage or something. I mean, they instantly notify you, hey, was this you? And you know if
Do they show soft pulls too?
Soft pulls?
Like a credit card company might run you once a year.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They provide all three credit bureaus real time. At any time, you can go in and check, you know, those and see any activity on it. But then I I use one credit card, my Southwest Chase card, for almost everything, and I buy shit, you know, here, Florida, Wyoming. I mean, I'm all the time getting fraud alerts. I got one this morning. I bought some new sunglasses, and they're like, yeah, is this you? And you're like, yes. And you know, I am glad for that because it only takes a couple of little charges to wipe your ass out. You know?
So you got the Southwest because you like how they load?
I do.
No, just that's a market.
But see, here's the deal with me and Southwest. My wife uses them for business.
Oh, okay.
And so she has priorities. We always get top priority billing, which means I get the second row in the front every time. Well, not every time, but I'm usually pretty damn good at it because I fly alone most of the time. And to me, that's the ticket, being the front couple rows. You're off the plane in 4 minutes when you land. It's just
What are you talking about?
fly into Southwest. But I have a card for my office too, so I have like 200,000 points. So I haven't paid for plane tickets.
Hey, what I originally did it with, what's Frontier, when it was good?
When it was good, yeah, they suck ass now.
You like it. That means you like it.
So I had a home inspector down in Florida. He completely even missed that my house was sitting on a foundation.
What do you think it was?
Four-ounce slab.
It's Mallory. Mallory is the first name. Mallory. What are you talking about? Oh, I got to one of the reps.
What is it? Why? I'm sorry. My brain's everywhere. But what was this about? Why is someone sending me something on roof brokers?
No, that was the one we just did.
Yeah, so you could read Suzanne's guarantee of
No, this was a listener.
That's the same thing.
Oh, maybe.
What is the difference between a certification and a warranty? What does the lack of proper roof ventilation cause?
What's the guy's name?
It's Bob White. It's our car guy. I don't know why he sent me this, so.
Let's go right to the heart.
Problem with ex-husband.
He's the owner
I
of
get
Pro
kind of
Auto
juicy.
Care for 25 years. And they
You could have told that lady on that Shaw Construction, well, at least the guy didn't sleep with you know, like that other contractor. What was that guy's name?
He just came on.
Hey, Daphne, if you're listening, would you run Kalen Eccles again in the Colorado court system? And what happened to the homeless? The homeless lady in the car. That was, I did not think that through. That was so dumb. Offering the homeless lady that car, the more I think about it, she can't even.
She doesn't have a license.
She probably has nothing. That's the whole point. No insurance. You won't be able to register it.
But she has the money for it. Daphne asked her.
What if she doesn't have a license?
Right. They're not going to do it until she gets her license.
You can sleep in it.
You're right.
So that's my whole point. We should have never done it. We didn't even think it through.
Well, she made it sound like she did have a license too.
And she's wanted by the cops right now.
Is she?
Yeah, she's got a warrant out for arrest.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. John Fuller in the house, Fuller Law. John is a personal injury attorney here helping us out with other things as well. If you have any questions about personal injury, and this is one I got, is vacation time considered an injury? They could not go on vacation, by the way. John, that's an email. What is it? On personal injury, they say pain. See, and this is another thing I want to make clear. People don't know what personal injury attorneys go after to begin with. A lot of them. They don't even know, well, why should I call an attorney, right? I got collision coverage. They don't know the difference between property damage and personal injury. They don't know what pain and suffering is, and is pain and suffering considered personal injury? Is a broken leg the same as losing my vacation? The reason I'm bringing all this up is I want to discuss it in a few minutes. I want you to take some notes. So I'm not going to jump right into it. So please, that's what I want to discuss, because I think there's just a general misunderstanding. I can tell when people ask me questions, what is included, or I went to this attorney and he didn't get my car back. So I'd really like to clear that up. So Martin, I don't know why we're still on, other than I really don't want to just cut you loose and have you all pissed off, but from all the information we have, I don't think you have a strong case against this guy. He does have some misrepresentation problems, but I'm not sure what damages you suffered as a result of that. And the fact that the guy is living by the contract and certifying this for 5 years, what I would do with him, if he's a good roofer and truly knows what he's doing, I don't know if he is, but you ought to say, look, you're putting so much time in this, why don't you just redo the whole roof?
I've done that, Tom. I mean, I thought we had arrived at at an agreement to do it, but then he comes and asks for, $10,000-15,000 to. Well, and you're saying that this isn't an inspection. It is what I requested was an inspection, and I got this and a quote. How did he come up with there needed to be 14 broken tiles repaired and the other stuff?
Hold on. We're in court. I'm going to answer your question.
Yep.
Sir, how did you come up with it? I looked at the roof and I saw some broken tiles, and since they said they certified there were no previous leaks, I just figured let's fix these tiles right now and get this roof on the road. I didn't see any major problems. Next question.
Okay.
Next question. Well, make your case. Well, Your Honor, he had to have looked at the roof, and he didn't tell me I needed a new roof. Sir, how do you answer that? Well, I didn't know he needed a new roof. I wasn't asked to inspect the roof. I was just asked to look for problems, and I found some minor problems with tiles. He didn't ask me for a roof inspection. Okay, now you're on the stand. Okay, Martin, can you show me the contract where you contracted this man to inspect your roof and where he certified it to be in great condition? Can you show me that, Martin? You want to be such a stickler for facts? Let's go, Martin. Show it to me.
There is none.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm getting at. So now that the guy...
I'm going back to the realtor to see if they got any other paperwork I didn't receive.
Look, here's the deal. Here's the deal. That roof would cost $34,000. Truly, if he would truly replace it for 10 or 15, truly, and he knows what he's doing, you would have... I would feel a little squirmy dealing with the guy since he lied to you once already and said he was going out and getting an independent inspection. But Martin, you're already in the pit of rattlesnakes, so try to deal with it the best you can. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you, but I am telling you that you're wasting money if you think you're going to go to court with these documents and try to get a whole new roof from this guy.
Well, that's why I called you, was for your advice.
But I really believe...
Because I felt, since I used this to purchase the house, I felt that I was using his information. And your real estate person did not protect you properly. Certainly like Frank Duran, the real estate man, would have. I'm serious. And I'm really serious when I say that. Somebody like that, if they knew you had a question, they would dig deeper. Now, they're not going to certify your roof, but they would certainly look to see that all of your concerns were answered. That's really all I have to say. Denise, what's happening with you? Denise.
Hello, Tom.
Hi.
Hi. Yes, I'm a disabled college student, and I have been living at my residence for, let's see, I signed my first lease in June of 2016.
Yeah.
I renewed this June. And so I'm going to take you off speaker. I'm sorry, Tom.
Go ahead.
And so when I moved here, the place was filled with smoke. I had to clean it myself, and I scrubbed down the walls, and then started having issues with the washers and dryers and the boiler, and
Wait. How long have you been there?
I've been here since June 2016.
And why are you now having problems with all of this stuff?
Oh, it started off with like the boiler, no hot water, no heat.
Okay.
And then I reported that, and then I keep reporting that because we keep losing our water and our heat. When I come home from school, there may not be any hot water or heat.
Okay.
And then
are they addressing the problems?
Well, I have to keep calling till like midnight and and then they'll address it within a few days. We'll have hot water.
Why did you renew your lease in June?
Because I want to build up my because I'm disabled, Tom. It's really hard to find a place that's affordable, and they had the rent down to like 9.
Is this a subsidized place?
No, it's not.
Have you ever tried to get subsidies?
I am on a waiting list for I signed up for a waiting list that goes on for 3 years. So yeah, I need help because my rent went up to $1,000 renewing the lease in June. It went up to $1,000 plus utility Excel.
And do you have a whole apartment?
Yeah, I just have a 1-bedroom apartment by myself.
Okay. So right now you're calling because you have occasional problems and they don't get on it immediately?
Well, the reason why I called you, Tom, is because I feel very helpless as far as we have 12 units.
A lot of people do, by the way, renting, and I'm serious, Denise.
Awful.
No, it is, because it's hard to find a place, and landlords, many of them are lax. But you're not telling me about anything so egregious that in other words, it's not any different than any other apartment complex right now.
Yeah,
people lose hot water and it takes them a few days. They lose heat, but does it take? I don't know what I could do to help. Is what I'm saying. I mean, we call the landlord and they get on a problem, and then a few months down the road you have another problem.
Right. Well, today the reason why I called you, Tom, is because I have a ripped back. Okay, my back is torn, and I have to go down 14 steps to go to the laundry room, carry my laundry, and I have asthma, which I'm being treated for. And
but what does this have to do with the landlord?
Okay, well, I have to go into our laundry facility to wash my clothes.
Okay.
Now, I work at my school for 10 hours a week, and I only have one.
So far, I need to hear about the landlord's problem, not yours,
so
Denise. And I don't mean to be a wise guy, but I'm serious.
Oh, no,
I need to know. I need to know how.
Time.
No, you're not wasting my time. And Denise, I feel for you as a person, but I don't know what impact this has. Because you have a special set of circumstances. Let me explain something in general. People call me with what I call special sets of circumstances. Now, the reason they do that is because they want me to know that their need for the laundry room, or their need for heat, or their need for hot water, or their need for this or that is extra special. And I get it. However, from a landlord's perspective and from the legal perspective, from the tenant-landlord perspective, it doesn't really prioritize you necessarily.
Well, I'm not saying it prioritizes me. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying you are. I'm saying that he doesn't. He doesn't. For sure, he doesn't, and he doesn't care. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Is that people don't look at people with special circumstances and say, "I better get over there. This is a little different than most." So what's going on then? You told me about your circumstances. Tell me the problem.
Okay, this is the problem, Tom. Okay, so. We have 2 washers and 2 dryers.
Okay.
That 12 units have to share.
Okay.
Now, we, as a group here, there's different people, different circumstances in their family. So we all have been without washers and dryers.
Why?
And so, because they're not repairing them.
Okay, so are they right now, both of them, all of them are done? They're not working?
They are broken.
Okay, so both washers and both dryers?
Yes, sir.
Okay, in your lease, is the washer and dryer facility guaranteed, or is it something he put in there extra? Do you know if that's covered? Because that's important to know. Is it covered by the lease?
You know, I don't know, Tom.
Can you look and see? Because if it's not,
yeah, I'm looking for my lease.
We would have more power if it was part of a lease and he's not performing part of that lease, is what I'm saying. So if you can just find that for me. Otherwise,
I have my lease. Let's see. Let me look here.
Okay, well, you look. I'm going to put you on hold. You look, because I don't really want to stand on the air while you're looking. Here's what we need to know, Suzanne. Does it mention the laundry facilities or not? If it does, we can do a constructive eviction, even though she doesn't want to. It's a weapon. Or we can do some kind of habitability standard, because habitability standards can be enforced if they're written in the lease. It can be called a habitability standard. Okay, so coming back, we'll clearly define personal injury, because that's what some people have asked. They don't, or they're not clearly up on what it is and what it's not. Right now, I'm privileged to tell you about Dr. Kent Lawson, because I know that people who listen to this message and call him are going to be changed. I get excited about it because it's really important to a lot of people, and that is your smile, your teeth, your crooked teeth, your disgusting teeth. You cover your mouth. You do closed lip smile when you smile. Look at those photographs. You don't want to be photographed. Dr. Kent Lawson has proven that adults can have straight teeth in 2 years or less. 2 years. Not 6. 2 years. Without surgery. Without veneers. Without implants. Unless, of course, you have a missing tooth. But what I'm saying is no extractions and no implants and no surgeries. In normal circumstances, you can have straight teeth in 2 years by widening your palate. Your palate has a problem, can be widened. Your jaw can be aligned with mouthpieces and no surgeries. He has proven it. And what happens is your teeth naturally align. And then for the finishing touches, he uses Invisalign braces that you can't hardly see. And you are done. And you're done for pennies on the dollar compared to the alternative, like a mouthful of veneers, $50,000 and $60,000. This is the answer. And while he gives you a beautiful smile, he also aligns your jaw, which does away with TMJ and most sleep apneas. You gotta call him. 303-690-0100. The new orthodontics. 303-690-0100.
Mark G/a dividend down 8%.
50%, I thought. No, hold on. What? I was reading an article.
Don't go to that place anymore. Come to me.
8%.
What are you talking about? What's it? GE, they slashed their dividend, which was going to happen. I mean, I think they're going to end up selling some of the company to different parts.
No. You're wrong.
They might have slashed their dividend 50%.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, I was
not or whatever. No, but they slashed their dividend. Man, when you're in a spiral, the last thing you fucking do is that. What's he, an idiot? You know how much money it saves him a year? You're gonna shit.
If I try to grab it,
$4 billion.
I'll come after you, mister. If I do that,
$4 billion.
it,
the copy and then
don't give him any ideas, John.
What is that? A
But
little.
when I do that, because I'm taking it from the URL of No, I know.
I'd be afraid someone would smash it.
Damn
it, that was $300.
When I drop it in there, it takes away the
guaranteed.
It takes away part of it, and then it's only the
URL. So I heard this homeless lady didn't even have a license now, Daff. Jesus. I knew we fucked up on that. In every which way, we totally fucked up. She's wanted by the cops. She doesn't have a license, and we're giving her a car.
No, she's going to get her driver's license.
Oh, yeah. Lunch? Lunch.
Okay, I won't be able to do that.
The whole urination is...
The whole, that whole public, that kissing in Walmart stuff is a big mistake.
It will not
I was thinking you were talking about...
I knew it.
Okay.
That's
Now
what
you
I
take
told
the
her.
article.
Yes.
Then you
As long as
go
you
to
get that
put
stuff.
attach a photo.
You think a woman that lives outside, okay,
I've got it
is
on.
going to
I've
be
got it
able
on
to
the side. My
get
problem is
insurance,
I can do
get
that
her
on
driver's
Facebook when I
license,
get the
take care of her legal issues, figure out how to go to DMV and get a car, and then literally drive the car with the plates and everything.
Getting the license thing as long as you get the license.
Okay.
So
that
what do we
photo
do?
will not be there. It'll be your
Lunch?
Yeah, we don't want that.
Is there a way?
I might have
don't-
done it. Just sure the big car.
Shows the banner photo, is that what it's
Yeah, the
doing?
one with the, that
But she
says,
remember she's
you
got
know,
two
the
jobs.
troubleshooter.
No, she doesn't.
Tagline.
Lunch?
I thought maybe
She doesn't
if you
have
went
two
in,
jobs.
took the
She
picture
can't
out
get
and
to
put
one
it
of the
back in and
jobs.
updated it
Do you
again
think
for everyone
jobs
to
just
see
stay
that,
forever?
then maybe it'll take this time.
Sometimes when you copy and paste the link,
We just, that was,
sometimes
shouldn't have done it.
Well, it's not done.
It works
What
most
would be
of the
wrong?
time.
What would be wrong?
Yeah, but
with
we
having
offered it to her.
that
No
as
one,
my photo?
She's
and
got
then-
I wish you guys told me she didn't have a license,
Oh,
I
I
would have
didn't.
fixed it right then.
No, it
What
was
would be
all,
wrong with that?
right.
Then
I
your
don't
main
think
photo
anybody
would
knew
be
it
the
till.
one.
We need, if we find someone else, we give someone else the car. But we're not gonna wait around forever to
It
replace
takes
it.
that, it replaces it, but it's the
How
big
does she
picture
have
of
money
it,
in the
then
bank,
it's
but
just
she
the
doesn't have an
URL, it's not
apartment?
the story. It's not that. So that's why I thought maybe if
That's
you go
mind-blowing
in
to me.
and just take the photo out and put it back in and update it, maybe it'll do something.
Somebody that comes up to, come up with first, last month's now.
Okay, so
I
I
feel
take
like
this
it's
off.
not
urinating in
connected.
mine.
This is not
So I remove
connected.
it.
You gotta go, you gotta go.
You haven't done that?
Now I set
I don't
now
get
I
caught. I ain't saying I've never done it.
Now I go back and reinsert it.
But maybe
Hey,
that
I'm
would-
moving this morning.
That's right.
I will tell you.
I love doing it.
Finally, they opened the doors and now they're inside.
Let me tell you, that was a nice thing about living on,
Yeah, it
grew up on a
just, there are
farm.
times,
It's just,
yeah.
you gotta
it's
go.
just this time.
You're
it-
feeding the crop.
And
No,
I
I had it
knew
happen
you
to
had,
me.
You see
and
that thing on
sometimes
the
I'm
news
like,
about
oh, this is the photo you want, so
somewhere
I don't pay
down-
attention. But I knew you
Down
wanted
here
that photo,
somewhere,
and
this
that's
old
where I was
guy
like,
sitting
this
in the
is
front
it.
yard and his neighbor just up and armed.
Now, right now, if we go to
And so the
Facebook,
cops have been called out
Right
there and
now.
they've looked at the statutes and they're like, it's
Copy that.
perfectly legal for him to piss in his front yard.
we go to
You know, he's
Facebook.
not exposing himself, he's up against the fence and then you see him kind of going.
Now we go.
Is he doing it at this point just to bust balls? Is
I'm
it?
sure.
We copy that, right?
I can't say I never go off my day.
Right here.
Or if I'm in the hot tub and we're outside and it's cold, I will jump out real quick.
Stand up and launch
Stand
over
up
the
and
edge.
go.
We're really gonna go to the hot tub? Be damned.
No, because I clean the hot tub. I'm like a hot tub freak, man.
I'll just wait here and see what happens.
It would freak me out. I don't even like the teenagers.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. All right.
I didn't realize
Yes.
the woman that we gave the car to didn't even have a license. I think I totally screwed up on this one. I said, let's get her the car, because it turns out that she has no license. She's wanted by the police.
Well, Mark. Don't go condemning this woman.
I'm not
She called
condemning
us
her,
for help.
but
Okay, she
it's
doesn't
hard
have-
to
she
give a
doesn't
car
have
to
a
somebody.
driver's license, and when you say she's being wanted by the police, let's put it in perspective. This woman is homeless, living on nothing in an alley.
And it's so hard to give someone like that a car, Tom. That's the problem.
But let me explain the wanted
We'd be better off trying to get her a place to live.
Wanted by the police, so people don't think we're trying to help someone and put someone in a home that isn't deserving. This woman has 2 jobs, working her ass off. She lost her home, and the reason she is so-called wanted by police is because she got a ticket for public urination. She was in an alley behind a dumpster trying to go to the bathroom because she doesn't have a home, and when she was ticketed, she didn't show up. Is that what
that's
it
right.
is? All right. She's not some wanted criminal. This woman
Agreed. My point is, trying to get someone homeless a car has turned into something that is very hard to do. We'd be better off trying to get her a place to live, is what I'm saying.
We're trying to do both. And I don't know why she doesn't have, by the way, a driver's license anyway.
She has her permit, and she has a date to get her driver's license, which is December 11th, which
When
is
she
the
called up,
earliest
she had a
could
car.
get.
She had a car
she had
that
a car
broke
in
down.
Chicago.
Oh,
which is where the permit is
she
from.
didn't have one here.
But
And
she didn't have a
drive it
driver's
here.
license with a car.
Correct.
Okay, let's go to the phones because we have an attorney standing by to help someone on workers' compensation. Jessica, what is going on with your workers' comp? Hi,
Hello?
Jessica. What's going on?
So I filed workman's comp about a month ago. It started with my back bothering me. I went to my doctor. They told me that it was a work issue, so I went to my manager. I told her what happened, and she just told me that there was nothing that she could do for me.
So how is your back? What kind of job do you have?
I'm like a clerk.
Okay, and your back was bothering you?
Yes.
And who said it was work-related?
The doctor that I went to.
Your doctor said it was work-related, and then you said to your boss, I have a work-related injury, and they said what?
She told me that there was nothing that she could do for me. So I left it at that. My back was getting worse, so I went to another doctor, same thing, told me it was work-related issue. He didn't want me lifting anything, so I contacted my manager again, and she told me I had to talk to HR to let him know what was going on.
So did she never gave you she never let you go to a doctor?
No. She never basically sent me to HR for any of this.
There should be a poster up somewhere there that says what to do.
Let's talk to Cliff Enton, attorney at law. He does a lot of workers' comp. Cliff?
Hi, good morning.
Cliff, hi. Listen, when somebody, even if you think she's faking, even if you don't like her, even if you think, oh, come on, get over it, bottom line, if somebody does that and says, you know...
You have to send her to the doctor. The manager, she's not the judge and jury.
Right.
How dare she?
So is there any kind of thing we can do about it, as far as, she can do about it?
She has a right as an injured worker to file a worker's claim for compensation. Once she does that, then that starts the timeline for the employer and the employer's insurance company, assuming that they have work comp insurance, to admit or deny on the case and state a position. But, you know, they have to at least send you in to their authorized provider. Now, if they don't, if you put in a claim and they haven't sent you to a doctor, then they've waived their right to pick the doctor. And then you can have anybody you want.
So so what's the very first thing she does now? They haven't done anything, so what do we do now?
Well, Tom, they did send me to a doctor after I talked to HR. So I went to their doctor at the ROM clinic. They gave me no restrictions, and the reason why they gave me no restrictions is because they were going to send somebody out to evaluate my work. They put me on physical therapy.
Okay, so they did. They did literally do what they were supposed to do.
Do you have a back injury or a respiratory?
But the problem is, Tom,
it's a back injury.
Didn't you say the lung clinic, or did I mishear?
No, she didn't. So what about the clinic? You went to the clinic. The doctor says basically there's nothing wrong with you.
No, the doctor did say that my back was messed up. I had something in my muscle.
But no restrictions.
The reason why she gave me no restrictions is because they were going to send somebody out from the Pinnacle Insurance to evaluate me. They were supposed to go that week, but they didn't end up showing up till November 1st.
You need to call me.
Okay, listen. I want to know something, first of all. Jessica, what are you looking for? What are you looking for?
After the workman's comp claim, the relationship changed. I felt like I was completely under a magnifying glass. They suspended me on Friday for BS reasons, and
they suspended you?
Yes.
What? Wait a minute. That's really weird. What did they? Why did they suspend you? What did they say it was for? It seems to me like they extended you. They suspended you because you filed a claim. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yes, and before this, Tom, the manager told another employee that if I cannot do the work, then she needs to find somebody else that can. I was on no restrictions. I've done everything that I've been doing there. Nothing changed. But they also put me on part-time now.
You should go see Cliff, because it sounds like
this is retaliatory actions against you.
Jessica, it sounds like they suck. I'm serious. Now, whether or not your back was really injured, I don't care. What they did is wrong as far as the procedure. Now, what I want to know is this. What were you looking for? Did you want some time off? What did you want?
unemployment.
What did you want? I don't need the person talking behind you. I need you to tell me what were you originally looking for, Jessica?
Are you asking like when I did the claim?
Like, yeah, what were you looking
like
for when you put the when you put the claim in? What are you looking for?
So I didn't ask for the claim. The reason why they put the claim in is because
you went to your doctor and your doctor said it's work related. You went to your boss and said, I have a back problem. They sent you to a doctor. I understand that. So you didn't like what that doctor did. What did you want that doctor to do?
No, it wasn't that I didn't like what the doctor did. I just feel like ever since this claim went in,
I get it. I get it. They weren't treating you right. So
you're entitled to a whole range of benefits that you're not getting now.
Yeah. See, this is weird. You weren't even looking for a claim to begin with, and when you went to a doctor, they started treating you differently, and then ultimately suspended you.
Correct.
That sucks.
She cut my hours in.
All right, hold on. Just hold on. I agree with you. Something happened. Something went wrong. Here's Cliff Enton's number. Put them in touch, okay? He's 303-333-2222, and he does workers' compensation. He's on my referral list at referralist.com. There's definitely a problem there. There is definitely some kind of a problem. Denise, we haven't forgotten about you. As far as a college student, no washer and dryer, she was going to check with the lease. Did she check? Okay. Denise.
I have my sister trying to help me. And
okay, what did you find? You didn't find anything in the lease about it?
I didn't see anything in the lease in regards to the laundry room.
John Fuller, if she rented this place, and at the time, I know this is not like really your bailiwick, but at the time she rented it, if there is a working laundry room, I'm wondering if it's implied or something. I hate to say it, but I don't think so. I don't think if it's not in your lease, they're going to say that was a courtesy, and we don't have the money to fix it, or we didn't get around to it. I don't know. What do you think, John?
It totally comes down to the language in that lease. If it defines that as part of the common areas and stuff, then you could maybe infer that they were going to continue to provide that. But if it doesn't, it's just there as a gratuitous benefit, then I think you're right. Maybe they can take it out and there's no harm, no foul.
Do you want us to call the landlord?
Oh, Tom, I would appreciate that so much.
Okay, to ask if they plan on fixing the washer and dryer. Maybe it'll help. Hold on, I'll have Deputy Dan make a quick call. We got more coming up.
iHeartRadio, music festival.
It extends back to the troubleshooter.
But why does it always take the troubleshooter picture? Always. Why?
I don't know. There's somewhere on the troubleshooter page, on your host page.
No, I understand that, but it's not really. It just started doing it. It started taking it started associating this photo with it. So
it was one that you have.
I wonder if I put the photo in the post itself.
Yeah.
If it would do it.
Let's
try that.
That might. Or take it out.
I want to take it off of here.
Of your. Take it out of your pictures in your post file of Troubleshooter.
Well, I can't. If I take it out of that, it'll do away with my. If I do away with that picture, you talking about in Facebook? Take it out of that?
No. In Troubleshooter.
If I take this out of my gallery, it's my fucking. It's this. If I take it out of there, this goes away.
Isn't that associated
I don't know.
with a different gallery?
Let's see. Oh, let me see. I'll look. So you're saying take it out of the library.
Just make sure it's not clicked here.
I think
it might have a check mark.
No, it's because it's the header. It's not just this it's taking the header.
Right. Which is so weird because it never did that.
No, it didn't. But it's taking my header, which sucks. I just don't understand why. I know that we can search and find out why.
It's our damn terrorists.
No, when we share a post, why is it taking the header of the Facebook page and not the featured shot? I know we could do it.
It's almost like it's the default.
That's right. You're right. You're exactly right. That's what's happening. Instead of taking the featured image. So, okay, I'm going to do when sharing to Facebook,
Did we hear back from Marcia yet, John?
We're making progress.
WordPress.
Suzanne said that your paralegal said they're just going to do the full amount or whatever.
WordPress.
Policy limits.
I'm hoping. We don't have the final word on it, but we got a new adjuster.
WordPress.
What do they just want it to go away at this point?
Well, I think so. With the new stuff at Kaiser, that she went down and had features.
Oh, the notes. Yeah,
we were getting the estimates on it and stuff, and I think that's going to be enough to put it over.
Image.
You know, the problem we have with the old adjusters is just important. You know, yeah.
How should I handle the Friday rotation if this week is Sheridan and Kevin, and then the following week we're out? Should the following week be Al and Kimmer, or should it just? I don't know why I'm confused this year and never any other year, but I'm confused.
I do it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. Because of all the. When does Christmas fall this year?
I say when Sheridan WordPress posts
Sunday, we
Facebook.
only get a 3-day this year.
So what is it? Monday off?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look actually.
Well, you got gloves on.
I'm cold. I'm John.
Make Facebook show your featured image when posts are shared. That might
He's
be
a
it.
human furnace when I'm sleeping because
How
he
does
likes it
Facebook
at
know which
68,
image to
that's
use?
his
This is
loader,
exactly
you know.
Facebook uses
I get. I like
something
it
called
at 60.
open
I
graph.
sleep better at 67.
Oh, I'd kill him.
Elements your page.
But I'm okay with it cold. I couldn't sleep if it were hot. But I'm just always cold.
Christmas falls on a Monday.
Well, we only no.
So all you need to add an open graph
Yeah, I
image
think we only
tag
have that Monday
to your
off. I'll have
post
to look
that
downstairs.
will automatically use your featured
But
image.
Thanksgiving,
Luckily, there's
when
a
is
great
that?
plugin
That's
that does
next Thursday.
Hey, tell them I need those best of. I emailed them the ones I needed.
All right.
And they got to be pulled from the logger.
Yeah, I was hoping that I would know by today, but I didn't. But
It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't matter to us, man.
Within a couple of days, we should have that figured out.
I can still go down to the outlet mall, shake the guy up a little.
I know. That's always a possibility there, Mark. You know, we want to keep that one in our back pocket until we need to deploy it. You know.
Look at Gates, man.
No, I know.
That's
But that's
$50 million
this is
Alzheimer's.
one
Yeah,
way.
he aged big time in the last year or two. That guy-
50 million is like me dropping.
Yeah, but his Gates Foundation has, what, 100 billion?
Right.
I mean, that's a guy that truly took his money, and I don't care what you think of his politics, the man helps people like no one else I know of. Entire countries.
Right.
Imogen post notes. Well, just only the wrong one.
You think Biden will run?
Of course. I think he's the heir apparent.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255.
138-255. All right, we're calling the landlord for that lady. Okay, John, so what is considered a personal injury to begin with? Here's what you have. When you have a car accident, you have a damaged car, damaged or total car, you have medical bills, you have loss of income, and then you have something called, I call just loss of fun. Now, I'm just saying that because when people call me, these are kind of words they use. My car's damaged, okay? Or I got medical bills, or I have loss of income, and I have loss of fun. They very seldom group them together. So what is considered the PI portion of your policy?
Okay, so you're right in starting with the property damage. Really, there's
Everyone
two
thinks that
categories.
is.
There's two categories: property damage and personal injury or bodily injury.
So those are
two,
the
okay?
main categories.
Right. So what all's in property damage? Property obviously is going to be your car or your truck, but then even beyond that, it may be the contents of your vehicle. It may be a baby seat in the back
Your
seat
cell
that
phone was smashed.
A cell phone. If your eyeglasses, if the
things
airbag
damaged.
goes off.
Let's put it that.
Things
Things damaged.
can be repaired.
Gotcha.
Okay? So that category is generally not something that we get involved in. And most of the time, it's done before we even get brought into a case. That's the kind of stuff that will generally get resolved in the first, 15 to 30 days max.
So that's collision coverage, or that's coverage that the liability of the other party.
That's right.
And stuff like that.
That's right.
So that is something that is outside of personal injury.
In my view, it is, for sure. And so now, personal injury, bodily injury, this is injuries sustained by a occupant of the vehicle.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Or if it's a pedestrian, somebody that gets run into. Now, even within that category, you've got two categories, economic and non-economic. Economic is anything that you can attach a dollar sign to. So a medical bill, lost wages, that vacation that you had paid for that you now can't medically go on.
Okay, that's
all of those
economic. Things you can calculate.
Okay? Yes.
Let's
the second category is non-economic, which, as the name implies, is things that you can't really calculate. And those are the intangible things like pain and suffering that you always hear about.
Okay, that's where people get weird, right? They don't know what to ask for.
Well, of course, and it's hard because really and truly you're asked to look in a crystal ball,
right.
And the true measure of damages is what some hypothetical jury would award you down the road if you brought this case in front of a jury and they heard all the evidence, what they would decide. And so the trick in doing what I do and in fighting with the insurance companies is we're all debating about what some hypothetical jury might do with a given set of facts.
Okay, so economic is easy, but do insurance companies give you a tough time with economic damages? Are medical bills economic?
They are economic, and yes, they give us a tough time because, as you know, the medical business is, is a mess right now. We've got certain amounts that get billed. You've got other amounts that the insurance companies pay. It's a moving target in almost every case.
What about lost wages? Did they give you a tough time?
Lost wages are less difficult if they're easily proved. Where it gets tricky is lost opportunities, and for self-employed people and people for whom it's very difficult to prove that I lost X number of dollars this one day or not. When you have people that take time off work and they use their vacation pay and stuff like that.
That's exhaustible.
It's exhaustible, but it's also compensable. So we're gonna ask the at-fault party to reimburse you for that time that you had to take off, whether you put it on a bank of PTO or your vacation or whatever.
So far, folks, we have property damage and then we have personal injury. Property damage are things damaged. Personal injury fall into two major categories. Economic, which are calculable, like days lost of work or medical bills. The non-economic damages are pain and suffering and more intangible stuff. So the economic ones are easy to understand and to calculate, but you still have to fight for them. Now we're going to talk, coming up, on non-economic damages. So we're going to do that. Just hang on for a few minutes and we'll talk about that because that's really important. We also have some lines open for any problem you want to discuss or you need help with. 303-713-TALK.
How about if they got fired, John, due to it? Like they've already been late to work twice, they get into a car accident,
is that an
and the axe comes down.
That's a more complicated question, but yeah, I mean,
or future earnings.
If the person, future earnings is absolutely compensable, maybe not in a situation where, the accident was not the only reason you got fired. I mean, those become difficult questions to work out.
All right.
It's not as clear.
Now, we're going to get into non-economic damages in a minute. John, I'm sorry. John, sorry for the wait, sir. I hope we can help you. What is happening?
Hey, is this Tom?
Yes, it is, sir. What is going on?
Well, I've been working with Split Rail Fence. Very good company.
Oh, you like them? Okay, good. That's not the problem.
No. My residential lot is like a triangle, and I've been working with them to fence it, replacing the old wooden fence with the new PVC fence.
Good. I love PVC.
And they do good work.
Yeah.
But I only did one section at a time when the neighbor was willing to split the cost with me. So we're on the final section, and I signed a contract with Split Rail back at the end of August 23rd, to finish the last section. So we're going on 3 months, and I still haven't heard back from them.
Well, okay.
When they plan to start.
Okay, so the other sections that you did, you waited until you got a neighbor's cooperation?
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool, cool. And this last section, you have the neighbor's cooperation?
Yes, in fact, he thinks I ran off with his money.
Oh, I get it, I get it. Did he already pay for half?
Well, he gave me the check. I used my credit card.
Okay, now I see why you're... Yeah. So when did you pay split rail for the last section?
At the end of August.
Well, okay, Suzanne.
Well, what I was going to say is when Mark and I did our fence, we had to schedule it like 3 or 4 months out. Those guys are so busy and so behind. I don't know that it's really a concern. I'm going to call them.
I don't either. It's only been the
few months.
The August, yeah.
They are so busy
Plus,
in
now
construction.
the ground's freezing. They may not be able to do it.
But why don't you simply tell your neighbor or have your neighbor also talk to split rail with you? I mean, is your neighbor really starting to get pissed?
No, that was just a joke, Tom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought maybe your neighbor was getting upset with you. Okay.
No.
So let's, I mean, you know, we can call and ask what they're running on contracts, basically, what their lead time is. Let's just ask them. You know, this company's been around a long, long time. They're not on the referral list, but that doesn't mean, you know, they've been around a long time. And so let's find out. Let's just ask them. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
This report is brought to you by Walgreens.
Highway crashes clearing across town. That wreck downtown, northbound I-25 at 20th. Looks like that's been cleared out of the way. Traffic flow back up to speed both directions of I-25 downtown. Out on the west side of town, westbound I-70 at C-470. Looks like that wreck has been cleared. Traffic flow is slowly getting back up to speed on that stretch. Still residual backups to about Youngfield on that section. Off-highway, westbound Alameda remains closed between Kipling and Union due to that serious crash from this morning. No estimated time when it will reopen. The weather forecast, sunny today with a high near 70. Right now, a few clouds above in the Mile High City, and it's 65. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
With a little help from Walgreens, diabetes won't slow you down. With caring pharmacists, medications you rely on, and testing supplies from all the major brands. Where is it convenient? And where do I matter? At Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
JC Dodge Construction understands.
It's my home, my business,
my investment. No matter what the job, big or small, with all the permits and logistics, navigating the world of construction is challenging. Communication can be daunting, and through it all, you've got your own busy life. At JC Dodge Construction, we'll manage the architects, the framers, electricians, plumbers, roofers, and painters to get the job done. JC Dodge can act as pre-construction consultants, or we can do what we do best, build. Commercial, residential, and tenant finish. Whether you have a drawing on a napkin or finalized plans. As general contractors, JC Dodge Construction can execute your project from design to finish. On time, on budget, and always to the highest of standards. Because quality is how we measure success. JC Dodge Construction. Promises kept. Call 720-613-5500 or online at jcdodgeconstruction.com.
Being accused of a crime can ruin your life. Get help with highly respected, skilled trial attorney Joe Lazzara. He's offering a free initial consultation and up to $500 off his services. 303-429-6200. That's 429-6200.
Have you gotten a notice from the IRS that's keeping you up at night? Let Advanced Tax Solutions help clean up that mess and give you peace of mind. Right here in Denver, helping clients for more than 2 decades. It's Advanced Tax Solutions.
If you're anywhere near my age and you've been an athletic, active, or just hardworking person, you might have a joint that's on its last legs, if you'll pardon the pun. You're uncomfortable, you can't do so much you want.
So I hope they get that worked out in reconciliation, because I would really like a little tax relief myself.
Although I will say this, I'm glad I don't live in New York. They're going to get fucking crushed. I can share this, so.
I could care less either. I am just disheartened every time I have to send in a quarterly tax payment. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I had to pay a fine this year for not paying quarterly. But it's fucked up because I got to argue it. I don't know if I don't know if it's worth arguing because I don't want other issues to come up.
But are you guys statutory employees of Tom, or you're independent, or?
Yeah. But I get one check once a year at the very last of the year, and that's the one they're bitching about. They're saying that I should have anticipated that and made that payment before I did. And I'm arguing. I don't think I am an arguer because I don't want to open up a can of worms. I think it's worth paying the $700 and not fucking with it. How's that?
Yeah.
But it irritates me. I paid on time, but yet they bitch that I didn't pay on time.
Anything that could be resolved with the IRS for only $700 is something you just need to pay.
I've had 2 audits in my life. Have you? I had 5. I had them come into Colorado Car Care. We were doing $5 million a year at the time. And I did not have to talk to the guy once. My accountant handled every single thing, and with the exception of
that shit gets expensive.
I've known it wasn't crazy. It wasn't crazy. So, but ultimately, all they did was take off some money that the company owed me. So it was a no change audit. Long as I agreed going forward, the company didn't owe me X, but a lower amount. Because that's what I was doing. I was taking loan payback every year. But I legitimately, over the years, put that in. So it's like, I guess
look weird because every settlement gets 1099 to the firm. Yeah. So
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. We want to help you any way we can. All you have to do is call for questions, problems, complaints, referrals. Katie, what's going on? 303-713-TALK is our number, and our number that works 24/7 is 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. What's going on, Katie?
Hi. Hey, thanks for taking my call. I really appreciate it.
What's happening?
I hope you can hear me. I should have called you about 10 years ago, but I'm just...
10 years ago? What's going on?
Believe me, I have notes. I should have called you 10 years ago.
What's happening?
In short, I was not married to this man, but I'm calling about a United Airline pilot who's my son's father.
Okay.
And because of his job...
Were you a flight attendant?
No.
Okay.
I was a local girl he met here in town while he was married to someone else.
Okay, so that's true about pilots, huh?
Absolutely. In fact, that's kind of what's going on now, which leads me to be very worried inside of, Tom, it's just so crazy.
Okay, so this airline pilot and you had an affair. How long ago?
My son is 13.
Okay, so 13, 14 years ago, right? So what happened? What happened then?
We didn't have an affair. We just had a one-night stand that just...
A one-night stand?
Produced with my child, which I didn't know he was married at the time. He lived in his own home alone. He had a wife and children.
Now, did he accept that back then and start paying you?
Well, the cops had to catch him at DIA to serve him, and he had to be forced to pay.
Okay, and
So
did
that's where we're at now.
this ruin his marriage, or was he still married, or what? Not that you care.
It did ruin his marriage, and he's married again now.
Okay, so he's paying child support to you?
Yes.
Okay, and has been...
He's been paying an amount of child support that I feel was completely erroneous. And
based on what?
Well, let me say it this way. So when I went to court with my son, I had a Mirena IUD given to me after I had him that went through my intestine and my uterus. So for the first 5 years of my son's life, I was going through repeated surgeries.
Wow.
And in fact, the final surgery, I'm sure you remember in Denver when one of the nurses gave everybody that went through the ER in Rose Medical Center's hepatitis C.
Oh, my goodness.
So I was very lucky that my doctor switched hospitals in those 2 weeks, or I would have that. I was listening to the past ladies. We've gone through constant situations where my son has an eye disability. I've just not ever been able to take this back to the court. And I think
right now, you are getting child support even though you feel it's the wrong amount.
Well, this is the hitch. I'm getting child support. But when we went to court all those years ago, the judge was told he wanted partial custody, and my son is supposed to be in his home every week per his request. He didn't show up for visitation.
He didn't show up for court. He didn't, and he moved to New Jersey years ago.
So it was supposed to be every other week?
Well, it was actually, every benefit was given to him. It specifically states that due to his schedule being, you know, whatever it is,
Yeah.
that he got to completely choose what days my son was there.
Okay, but he's never really had visitation.
He never went through visitation.
Does he have any relationship with your child?
Nope.
None.
So I've been getting calls recently from New Jersey and from all of his members of his family. And
And what are they calling about?
Well, apparently he's been a drinker for 30 years, and he's given himself a seizure, so he's on like a furlough for a couple of years. So I'm getting calls from people.
How old is this guy right now?
He was born in '62.
Okay.
So well old enough for this.
55. Yeah. Okay.
Kind of in short is the way that the orders are written up is, you know, $10,000 back then was going off of his paycheck into a retirement account, so they didn't count all of his money anyway. They said that he wasn't demonstrating.
Just how much child support was he paying you, or is he paying you?
The original amount set by the county was $1,000, but there was 2 other children on the other side he was paying on, and they are now 25 and 23.
So what is he paying now? Still $1,000?
He's paying $700 because what they did was knock my child support down and make me pay him back.
Why?
For that time that we went through court.
Okay.
And
well,
let me
whatever.
also say, Tom, at the time,
Yeah.
the judge on our case, this magistrate was the head of Colorado Legal Aid.
You're not going to get me to say that the judge was biased or unfair because
No,
everyone believes it. Everyone says that, so I just can't go there.
What I'm saying is it put me in a state of fear where I don't know who to go to get this fixed anymore. Where I just...
Well, what are you trying... First of all, you haven't told me what you're trying to do.
What I'm actually seeking through you is a law firm that will give me an accurate assessment of this, because I've got a whole bunch of people in town.
Bonnie Shields will give you an accurate assessment, and she's very good at it. She'll tell you what you should be getting based on the formula. It's strictly a formula, Katie. It's not what you think. It's strictly a formula. It's how much money he has, how much... it's all... And what you make, it's all about a formula.
And she just said he's on a 2-year furlough.
And how much parenting time... It all goes...
Wait a minute, though. We got a kid with disabilities. I've got a school district that will not give me any of his special education records in his lifetime.
Katie, what we're saying is it's still based on a formula, okay? It's a formula.
It is, but they didn't follow the formula. And
well, then what you can do is you can get it amended. That's what you do. You file a motion to amend child support. Is the court of jurisdiction here in Denver?
No, it's in Fort Collins.
Oh, well, that's what I mean. It's here in Colorado. So hold on. I mean, really, what you do is you get an attorney, and you file a motion for that. We'll talk about that and more coming up.
If you're doing any home improvements, Buy and Build is the place to go for cabinets.
And then back in 2001, I could have been on the plane.
And I bought a new pair of shoes.
In band camp, there was...
But I could have been on the planes that flew into the towers, but
That's right.
I wasn't.
I know, that was a great little rabbit hole she went down. Do you remember that thing with Rose Hospital and everybody got AIDS?
Right, yeah, I wasn't there.
I could have been there. Oh my God, that was great. It's like...
Well, that was 30 seconds.
We're waiting with bated breath to hear that. Well, that wasn't me. Remember that Aurora movie shooting? And all those people got killed? I wasn't there.
I was thinking about going to the movie, but I didn't go.
I happened to see a movie that night, but I was in Texas.
But it was Batman.
Oh, God. That was great.
A Senate candidate under fire fires back. Alabama Republican Roy Moore says the
Oh.
Is that going to change the story?
And why did she have to pay him back money? I was afraid to even ask because I think we'd have a whole new story.
Because he was getting $1,000, and then I think because he had 2 other kids that they were paying on.
He was only supposed to do 700.
Right.
I'd love to hear his side of this story, man. I'd love to have him on.
One night. It was one fucking...
He's probably still hanging himself. That's when he started drinking. He started drinking 9 months after that.
Hell yeah, he's a drinker. He's had to deal with 13 years of you calling up and telling these.
I didn't really, and she got into all that their family is calling.
Right.
I had no idea where that was going.
And then, you know, she got a toaster for Christmas.
Is that right? Is a toaster a good Christmas present?
I mean, what if the cost of the toaster had to do with child support? I don't know. That's my question for you today.
And it burns my toast.
Can he subtract the toaster from what he's paying me?
Even though it came from Cousin Sally.
God, that was great how she brought up Rose, though.
That's perfect. That's like, and I almost got run over by an ambulance, but you didn't.
It was this close.
What? Remember we were in here one day and it's like that. They could have killed me. Yeah, but you had a perfectly good wrongful death case, and then they snatched it away from you.
Everything would have been great. If they just killed you, we'd have something.
You were right there. You almost made it. Instead, nothing for you.
Nothing. No soup for you.
No soup for you.
It's like, we'd be happy to give you a car if you just had a license. Couch work for you.
And she could have mentioned that on the show too.
Oh, yes, you know.
She didn't have a license.
I'm the idiot that actually said, let's give her the car if it checks out. And we didn't
Listen,
we didn't check her out enough.
there is, how to cure this, a site-specific plugin.
Yeah.
There is a blank plugin that you can put on your site that if you want to change any code or anything, you put it in there. And it goes through, and it's not affected by updates. So it's a blank plugin, and you literally copy.
It creates a child thing.
Whatever, not a theme, just special code. It's just like that CSS page. So if it doesn't come with one of those, you can just copy and paste any special code into that plugin.
That's cool.
And it'll automatically use it every time. So that's a cool idea.
I really like this last price picture ad. With the van, the AC stuff, and then the temperature gauge. I think that's a fucking good looking ad.
You want me to put like that on a banner there for them? Or?
Yeah. Someone wanted it different though. Who wanted their...
No, not that banner. They want.
Oh, that's right. I remember we discussed it. You remember those big fires out in California that wiped out all those homes and buildings and people died?
Your home wasn't.
I wasn't there.
I know. Isn't that weird how she worded that? Isn't it weird how she worded that, Mark?
Oh, that's great.
Wasn't it weird?
You remember John? Remember that little girl in Boulder that was killed? John Benet Ramsey.
I could have been there.
Wasn't there?
And I didn't do it.
Didn't do it. You remember when Peter got fucking sued by them? How scared he was?
Oh, really? Did he get sued by him?
Fuck yeah, the Ramseys came after him. He was terrified.
Did that really happen?
Fuck yeah, I remember him. I was in with him, and you were coming up next. This was down, you know, at the old place. And he actually said something to you, and I remember what you said back to him. You said, talk to me after you've been sued like 5 more times. So he was terrified.
Yeah, but won't the station back him up, or how does that work?
They came after him personally. What do you mean back him up?
Well, I thought
they went after him for slander.
Okay.
He was on CNN.
I tell you that.
He was on CNN, Fox. He was on everywhere going after the Ramseys.
He went after him too. I mean, that man can get on a roll.
It made his career, man. He was literally Monday through Friday. That show was the Ramsey show.
Right.
There was something. Like I say,
Well, still, we never know. That's it, man. I think the best educated guess.
The kid did it.
The kid did it, but just like they said. Yeah.
I don't know what else it would be. And the parents covered it up simply because they don't want
but
the
this
kid
proves
he's an odd bird too, man.
God, he's odd. Yeah, I've seen him talk one time in that interview, and he was an oddball.
But I mean,
although growing up with all this shit over you
right.
could have made him that way.
But The cops, how bad can the cops be?
Fuck, they fucking...
They are so bad. They're so fucking...
I didn't understand watching that thing. They actually had the grand jury ready to go, and then the guy nixed it.
But you can
They
indict a
said he
ham
was on...
sandwich.
I know. He's on the fucking payroll.
My old business attorney would say that all the time. That was his favorite saying. Michael Kupes, you can indict a ham sandwich. And it's fucking true, you can.
But that's a quote out of a Supreme Court case. That's an actual quote in a case. And yes, you can. I mean, if you have a captive audience there in the grand jury, and you feed them what you want to feed them, they're going to do what you tell them
And
to do.
there's no other side, right?
Yeah, no.
It's just you talking to them. What are they going to say? Oh, no.
Yeah, an indictment doesn't do shit for you. You know?
But turkey breast, forget about it. Never.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, and making your life just a little easier. So this hour brought to you by Rocky's. Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal. Looking for a used car, truck, SUV, or van? You can find it at Rocky's. 40 lenders to choose from, and a huge selection of makes, models, and price ranges and colors. That's right. They have an array of colors. You know, so many times you get bored with just grays and whites, and they have a variety, and all prices are clearly marked so you can make your buying decisions. So shop around all you want, but then when you come to Rocky's, just have your notes ready and shop accurately. So you're comparing apples with apples, and you'll find the best deals. You'll also find better trade-in values because they sell most trades right there. 303-426-4646, 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. 303-426-4646. Now, we have personal injury attorney with us, John Fuller, Fuller Law, and we talked in the previous hour about evaluating damages and what are claims. Not really how to value a claim. We're going to talk about that, but what are non-economic losses. And I'll be doing that coming right up. Right now, we got a juicy problem that Katie's got, and I say juicy because it sounds like a movie. A pilot 13 years ago impregnates her on a one-night stand, and now she has to live with the consequences. And she said the guy's not paying his fair share. She had to chase him down to get child support to begin with. She doesn't believe he's paying his fair share. He's 55 years old. He's got some seizures. He's on a furlough. You know, Katie, it's likely if you bring up this motion to adjust child support, you could get less, not more, because he's on furlough now.
Well, I think, and this is why I called you.
And you can't go retroactive. The only way you go retroactive is if you have a standing motion and time goes by. It goes back to when you filed the motion. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Okay, see, and that's kind of where I ended up in this. And maybe I should have clarified that maybe more what I'm seeking is an advocate for my son, because he has some eye disabilities that have left me in the middle of...
Your son, you mean?
Yeah, so in lieu of making a move, because I understand, you know, at the time when I wasn't working that obviously he's going to be allowed to claim my son. And I understand that these things have to be taken back. But the position I've been left in with the son with disabilities is dealing with doctors for years on end. And like I said, just this year, they finally got my son's 504 plan right at school. So
what does this have to do with your ex-husband at this point? And not, excuse me, it's not your ex-husband, it's the father, I'm sorry.
Because I need to make sure I stay under the Medicaid mark to make sure that Josh gets this medical care that he needs.
Well, what do you mean make sure? You will make sure. You are under it right now, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but then it doesn't justify a father living in a $700,000 house.
Katie,
in a different state.
First of all, the price of his house has nothing to do with child support. The only thing that has to do with child support is income and liabilities. And some liabilities they don't let him count. Some they do. So it's a formula. It doesn't matter how much money he has amassed. It doesn't matter. So if you need special help with things because of disabilities, you have to sue, like in a divorce. You have to reopen it.
Right.
And but that's not child support. That's not child support.
Why this single mom with a son who's lived 1 foot off the road like a dog, while his major general for the Air Force grandpa...
well, his grandpa has nothing. His grandpa has nothing to do with it, though.
Actually, it kind of does.
No, it doesn't, Katie. It doesn't matter how much money their family has, Katie. You listen. I feel for you, but you're You're wasting your time. It doesn't matter what his grandpa is.
We can say it on public TV.
Katie,
Major dental or public
it doesn't
radio.
matter, Katie. It doesn't matter if his grandfather is a multi-zillionaire. It doesn't matter.
To me, continue to say my son's rights are being violated in school. I have no one to help me help this kid.
Okay, well then let's talk about what we can.
Knows, the county knows.
Katie, do you know why? Do you know why, Katie? Because you don't know how to complain. I'm going to tell you the first thing. Because right away, you know why, Katie? If I couldn't see through the pain that you're going through, I'd say you're a pain in the ass and hang up on you.
Right, and you just told me to screw off like every other person in this
But I'm not.
told me to screw off.
But I'm not.
So I'm gonna say
but I'm not saying it, Katie. You're your own worst enemy. Shut up, Katie, if you want my help. Shut up. Shut up if you want my help. Somebody should have told you that. Shut up. You want my help? Shut up. I'm telling you that right now. If you want my help, shut up. But you hung up. You're your own worst enemy. And I hope you're listening, Katie. I want to help you. But you are clouding yourself with words after words and anger, and you're frustrated. Call me back and allow me to help you. But you make people not want to help you because you are so frustrated with the system. It doesn't matter what his grandparents have. You're jousting at windmills. Don't go after the grandparents. Let's do this in a logical way. There is a separate motion you take for your son with disabilities. It's not through child support, and it's not through going after the grandparents. I hope to God you're still listening. Call back. You just won't be quiet long enough to hear the real problem and how to attack it. His major this grandpa, and you envision this family back there living rich, and you should be part of it, or this son should get some of this benefit. He may not be able to if it's truly the grandparents. You know, Mark, I don't know what to do. You know, people are going to say, oh, you shouldn't have said shut up, blah, blah, blah. Save me the emails, folks. Sometimes people get in their own way. They get in their own way. They don't allow people to tell them the system and the steps and the action plan. They are too emotionally upset. And she said, oh, you're just going to tell me to screw off like everyone, and she hangs up. Because she's convinced in her mind everyone is against her. She has a mindset that turns people against her because she is so frustrated. I understand that. I understand it. And I wasn't going to tell you to screw off. I was going to tell you to shut up long enough to hear where the vulnerabilities are of that man and how to go after that man, not his father or his parents. And you can't go retroactive if you haven't filed a motion. I was going to recommend you file a motion immediately, even if you can't follow through on it, because it gets you a mark to go retroactive on. But you're not listening. And I hope to God, really, that you are listening long enough to know that you can call back. All right? I know the frustration you're going through. My mom went through that frustration. So I will help you, Katie. But you can't just keep raging. You can't do it. What were you going to say? You were poised to say something. What were you going to say?
She called you something at the end.
Did we nix it?
Yeah, we nixed it, but, you know, what do you say? She honestly doesn't seem like she takes any responsibility either. Well, so I'm not trying to play Mr. Bad Guy here, but she went into that whole conversation about Rose Hospital, and what did she say at the end? She wasn't even there. It didn't even make sense. She's in a different world. She's very, very angry. How's that?
She's angry, right. I didn't hear she called me something.
Oh, she did, Tom.
Starts with an A and ends with an E.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
She's upset with everyone.
Well, I know.
She would have called anyone that didn't say, okay, yeah, we're going to go after the grandpa. Yay.
That's
you mean to tell me he was a major colonel and they're living in a, oh, my God, let's get some of that house. I mean, why bother lying to people? You know, why bother making cases that can't be
It doesn't help them.
No, it doesn't help at all. I mean, come on.
And she might screw herself if he truly isn't making money anymore. It might be less.
But she can go after some of that house, and she can go after some of his assets in another proceeding, not in child support. It would be another proceeding. It would be for disabilities and for other things. And it wouldn't be her suing. It would be the child suing. And she would be the guardian of that child suing on his behalf. But she's not going to listen long enough to find that out. And that's the sorrowful thing. What were you going to say, John?
I think one of the problems that she was alluding to is she's trying to maintain her son's Medicaid eligibility, which is based on income.
Right.
And so that's a challenge, and we face that in some of our cases as well, that, you know, personal injury settlements sometimes can invalidate people's qualification for benefits, and so I'm not insensitive to where she's coming from, but
no, she's right about it.
You need to take all those facts and not facts and unfacts and the Rose Medical and all that stuff and just put that on the back burner, and let's get down to what the real issue is and come up with a solution.
And come up with the best solution.
John, I don't understand something. You just said that can change Medicaid, right?
Yep.
Yes,
well, but it's not taxed, right? I mean, there is no income tax on it.
No, casualty. Can personal injury awards get someone off of Medicaid?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. You bet.
So they look at it different.
They do. It's not a tax issue at all. And sometimes, and this is kind of getting astray here, but people with disabilities, that's a very real concern. If they do get a sum of money from some personal injury deal, that can completely...
They have to spend it down, or what?
Or what a lot of people will do is something called the Trust for People with Disabilities, I think it is, which is a pooled trust type resource where they put their money in there. The money can be used for certain benefits and certain needs that the person has, but it's not considered income to the person so that they lose those benefits. So it's a very real issue, and it's very tricky to navigate through, but yes, that money that we get for people could sometimes, and does sometimes, invalidate their qualifications.
Right. I want to right now talk to Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans, on how you can make the process easier, especially during the holidays. You know, first of all, I want to say something. The process with Ideal Home Loans is not complicated to begin with. They truly can close you in 3 weeks or less. But let's talk about how they make it easy on you. Brent.
Well, Tom, you know, we can put you in control. A lot of people avoid doing this because the holidays is a really busy time. There's a lot going on, and people think that, you know, well, I'll just wait until after the holidays. Don't make that mistake. We almost always see rates go up in the new year, right at the front of the year especially. So we can put you in control of this process, whether you want us to come to your home, whether you want to come to our office, whether you want to handle everything online via telephone. We can customize this entire process to you so that it is simple and easy. Rates are still at some of the lowest levels we've seen all year long. You haven't missed out on your chance to save $300 or $400 a month, and if you do so right now, no payment on your new loan until February. So a little break during this very busy and expensive time of year.
And I'm telling you, you can take a break on payments, like he said, and they will take care of the heavy lifting. They do it. They really do. They're great at what they do. 303-867-7000. 303-867-7000. Or idealhomeloans.com. And when we're talking about loans, you know, if you're looking to buy a house, I can think of no one better to help you than Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frank Duran has your best interests at heart. He really does. And in fact, when you hire Frank, you will say, Frank, do you have any other customers? That's how he stays in touch with people. It's amazing to me. Yes, he has a team to take care of the staging of homes if you're selling, or to help you find homes even before they go on the market, right before they go on the market. He has a team to do that, but he oversees everything to a degree that you'll think, does he ever go home? Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622, 303-920-1622.
This report is brought
You know, that woman just the highway drive brought out the worst of me because she would not listen. She was so upset with everyone. And I'll get the emails. You shouldn't do that when we get out. I get so tired of it. Oh, I really do get tired of it.
Yeah, I have clients like that sometimes. And it's just, you know, it's sad sometimes that people get in that rut.
No, and I can see where you do get in that rut. You really do get so, it's like, what is it? It's kind of like a wound. and you're like a dog. You're trying to help a dog, and they snap and bite you. It's so raw.
How many, are you still doing your Facebook Live thing? How's that working out these days?
Oh man, it's actually doing. Do you know our Facebook and YouTube and download double our audience?
Really?
Yeah.
You want to go give her a drug test, have her pee in
You
the
got
cup?
to do. Don't forget Century.
Did anything happen?
No, here's what I did. I did a new code.
Polygraph her about
Hold on,
the being in the street.
I did a new code here. I'm just testing the code.
Oh, we just get a picture too and show.
Yeah, I know.
Did we get a picture?
I told Daphne, there's no way any of this is. How is she going to go get a driver's license? Let's
Her
just think of
friend
that.
is taking her, who has a car, because she has to have a car to drive too.
That's it.
You know what? I told her to call me when she has a driver's license. If she doesn't call me back, I'm not hunting her
Exactly.
down.
That's perfect, Daphne. I think that's
See?
perfect. That's
What's perfect?
Who? Raleigh House.
No, it is. Just like
guys.
When you talk about addiction, it's not an easy conversation. It's very difficult. A lot of people equate it with that show about confrontations and you know, here's the deal. When it comes to tackling addiction in your family, you have help, real help. And I want to tell you about the Raleigh House and this number they have established. Now, I talked about interventions. You know, there doesn't have to be an intervention if you know how to approach an addict about their problem. And you know if there's a problem. You really do. And you may not want to approach it, but I'm going to tell you something. Addiction will never get better without help. Now, with prescription drugs, it might even be more difficult because sometimes they have a doctor's approval. At other times, it might be something out and out wrong, alcohol or meth, cocaine. Whatever it is, this number was established by a caring, loving staff at the Raleigh House to answer all questions related to addiction and addiction treatment, about cost, about methodology, about support, about length of time, about what they do. By the way, the Raleigh House is a premier addiction recovery program located here in Colorado. And you'll speak to someone local about different treatment options, all evidence-based treatments designed to help reduce substance abuse. So call the Raleigh House with absolutely no obligation and no cost to you. Call one, call a few of you on a speakerphone. Call and get the information you need that could save lives. 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559. 5559, TheRaleighHouse.com.
Affordable interest mortgage still has rates in the mid-threes. Do that upgrade that you've been putting off, or pay off that high interest rate debt.
Yeah, Penn State. 18 drinks in 90 minutes.
Crash at the fuel spill, northbound 45 is shut down.
Really?
You are where? Time bound. Shit. Okay, I was trying to see that. The open and close one.
By my drone.
See an open and close.
Right.
We were flying it out. It's been a while.
It would be good to be able to have it and say, hey, let's go do. You could do go to the window, couldn't you?
Oh, easily.
Open and close.
That'd be great.
I love my drone.
It's got to be the last
I almost
thing
brought
I
it up to Keystone
obviously.
this weekend.
It's got to be, because otherwise.
I think it would be fun skiing. You can set it above you and just have it follow you.
Yeah, that is cool.
And get some pretty cool shit.
But it's only good for how many minutes though?
30. There ain't no ski run I'm doing that's over 30. I'm not a cross-country guy.
But are you going to hold it on the lift and then do it, let it go on the lift?
Oh yeah, you see mine. It's tiny, man.
Okay.
It all fits in its case. Its little case is it's smaller than like a 35mm camera case.
That would be
Look up Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown. What?
Because his brother, they do all the...
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
Did you try to, does he have a driver's license? Did you try to give him a car without a driver's license?
You tried to give a car without a driver's license.
You're the one that found out she
perfect.
Once I found out she was on the lam, I wanted nothing to do with her.
The urination. I looked at it.
This code is not allowed.
Daphne goes, well, her background shows it. Oh, she's got a failure to appear. She's got a warrant for arrest.
Which happened the day before we were on the radio.
FTA.
I know. I told her, I said, you need to
They're not
handle
going to allow me.
Okay.
she's going to go get her driver's license and get arrested at DSA.
It's not.
And then it's going to be because of that.
If she goes and shows up in court, they'll just fine her $20 or something.
Can you believe they actually gave a homeless person?
They harass them a lot down there. But it's terrible, man. I come out of my office and have to drive right through the homeless shelter there, and then mid-afternoon, they start piling back up, waiting to go in there.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. All right, so when it comes to, we talked about personal injuries, and I want to get to this quickly. And property damage, those are things lost in an accident, not just your car, but things you may have in your car, your glasses, your cell phone gets smashed. And then you have economic damages, things you can calculate like you lost this many days of work or medical bills. And then you have non-economic losses, pain and suffering. So where do you start with pain and suffering, evaluating that? That's the next thing we're on right now.
Well, we like to talk to our clients and kind of figure out what the impact of the accident has been on their lives and what they've gone through.
Does age make a difference?
I think it does. Sometimes, you know, an older person may have, you know, the inability to pick up a grandchild. I mean, that could easily be...
More or less usually. Younger people have less pain and suffering because they're less aware of...
I don't think you can say that just based on age.
Okay.
But the quality of the impact on that person may be very different for an older person than for a younger person. A younger person may, you know, I have a client right now who bought a ski pass this year and then got into an accident where they're not going to be able to use their ski pass.
Now, is that economic?
I think so. I think if, you know, depending on the support in the medical records for their inability to use it, yes. But
well, what about joy? The joy of a vacation, or the joy of having sex with your wife, or the joy of picking up your grandchild, and you're in pain all the time.
Yeah.
Well, how do you put a price on that?
Well, again, Tom, this is one of those things where ultimately the value is what some hypothetical jury would assign to it, and so you have to be, you know, you have to have the experience to know generally what juries do in your jurisdiction to have an idea of what it's worth. It's not just simply a multiple of the medicals or something like that that you'll see online. It's truly having a gut instinct for what a jury would typically do with X, Y, and Z facts.
But generally, that doesn't even matter. What generally is going to matter is the policy limits, though, right? Yeah, even if they're worth, even if it's an $8 million case, they probably don't have that insurance.
Well, of course. If you have damages that greatly exceed the insurance coverage, then it's really a no-brainer. I can tell you what the value is, and it's whatever the gross amount of the insurance policies all stacked together. And we have that all the time. I mean, all the time. If you go on to my website or pretty much anybody's and you see, you know, a bunch of $25,000 settlements, that means those clients had injuries that were greater than the minimal limit set by Colorado, and that unfortunately was all the money there was to go around, which is sad.
All right. Now, we have an emergency here, and Bud is losing his house tomorrow. Bud, the first question I have is, you know, why did you wait to call? I mean, this is kind of weird. Your house tomorrow. Tell me what's going on, sir.
Well, we thought we had it handled. We had contacted the Home Affordable Program.
Well, tell me what's going on to begin with. How many months behind are you?
At this point, over a year.
Okay, so you weren't making payments for a full year, and why is that?
Well, we had caught up. We had gotten behind a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And I borrowed a ton of money and got them caught up. My wife had...
And you had no bankruptcies or anything?
Correct.
Okay. And so...
Go ahead.
And so, are you working, by the way?
Oh, yes.
Is it a simple fact maybe you can't afford the house, or can you afford the house?
There was a point in time where we were having trouble making the payments because I was working for myself.
And now you can make the payments?
Yes, that would be no problem now.
Okay, so you stopped making payments when? How long ago? A year ago? Or more than a year?
Well, May of 2016.
So May of 2016. Well, why did they refuse it?
We never got an explanation.
They don't just refuse a payment, Bud. There's got to be a reason.
Well, we were never able to find out that.
They simply said, don't make your payment. We're not going to take your payment.
They claimed that we were in arrears.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. They said you were in the arrears, so therefore they weren't going to accept it in May of 2016.
Correct.
Okay. So then you haven't made a payment until, and now, when was it foreclosed on?
I don't have the exact date.
So it's already been foreclosed. You went through the hearing and all that.
Well, I wasn't part of it. I didn't know of it. Didn't know when the.
Well, you were served on all of that. That was.
We probably were.
Yeah.
I
okay.
didn't
So.
see that.
Well, the good news is, if there is any good news in this, if you haven't made a payment in a year and a half, presumably you have some money saved, because you would have normally been making a payment you said you could afford.
Right.
So what's your payment?
When it stopped, it was about $1,700.
So theoretically, you should have maybe 1,700 times 15. You have 22,000 in the bank.
We could come up with that, yeah.
What do you have? I mean, Bud, I want to be straight with you, man. I want to try to help you, but I need to know something. Did you truly put away the payment in the bank? Do you have money in the bank right now?
We do, yes.
How much do you have in the bank if you had to make an offer? How much cash do you have in the bank?
20 grand.
Okay. Here's my suggestion, okay? My suggestion is that you leave as soon as you can and take that 20 grand and put it toward another house and get into a house as soon as you can and get somebody to help you co-sign. I'm going to tell you something. And then when they come after you for a deficiency, you file a bankruptcy and you keep that 20 grand you put into the house because of your homestead exemption. Now, people might say, oh my God, I can't believe you just said that, but you want to know about help? That's true. That's the only way you're going to get out of this one, is if you take that money that you have now and put it into another house that you can, even if somebody co-signed, and then keep it out of a bankruptcy when they come after you for the deficiency, and you'll have a fresh start. That's the only thing I can think of. You're never going to stop a foreclosure tomorrow, never. Suzanne?
Yeah, he has a court hearing tomorrow. I'm not sure what that's for.
So it may not be a foreclosure.
He was told not to go to the court hearing.
Wait, it may not be. It's
a title reassignment. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay, so in other words, they're asking you to sign the title. Somebody bought.
It's not. I'm not even required to be there. Somebody's already bought it, and the courts are reassigning the title to them tomorrow.
Yeah, but you do understand, Bud. I mean, had you contacted us a year ago or even sooner, I mean, before the foreclosure, there's hope. Once it's foreclosed on, they've changed the foreclosure laws. You don't have any recoup time. You don't get to buy your house back. It's over. But what you need to do, and I hate to be so blunt, but you need to protect that 20 grand you have, because it's going to be taken in a minute if these people file and get a judgment, which they will. Will there be a deficiency, or maybe not? Maybe because of the market, there's no deficiency. Do you know what the sale price was?
No, I do not.
Well, it's possible there won't be a deficiency.
Well, they're not going after deficiency on the apparently right now, because the way we were served with the notice of hearing papers, they followed the procedure that's spelled out for them in case they don't want to go after us for other damages.
No, I understand that, but they can still come after you for a deficiency. Other damages are in addition to a deficiency. Hold on a second, all right? Just hold on. This is important. Who can we get that would answer some of this procedurally? We need someone real. Just hang on. 303-713-8255. We might be able to get Brent back or someone from there. If not, then call maybe affordable interest. Let's see if we can get somebody to talk about the mortgage process. Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. That is a place that if you take your car, you're going to be happy. You know, Mark Machowski is dedicated to great work when it comes to transmissions. Do you know they do all their own in-house machining? American-made transmissions. When you have to have something rebuilt, they don't job it out, which adds cost. They have the best value and the best repairs because they do them right there in-house. You can find them on Santa Fe, okay, just south of Dartmouth along that frontage road, 3201 South Santa Fe. Budget A1's been in business for 27 years, and almost 20 years on my referral list at referrallist.com with great reviews. Their mechanics are not paid commissions. Walk-in customers are welcome. They'll show you right where they're fixing the car and exactly what's wrong with it. They do all auto repairs. They love classic cars, antique cars, old cars. They do more than just trannies. They'll do, of course, they'll upgrade your tranny. They can do foreign and domestic, standard, automatic. Why don't you go directly to 3201 South Santa Fe Drive, Budget A1. That is the source. Instead of going to another shop that's only going to end up sending it to them anyway. That's Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. 303-781-9858. 781-9858.
From the Fox Business Network on Wall Street.
Who? We have a new term here.
I hope so.
Transracial. When you identify with a different race.
Remember that woman that from the NAACP, she did that.
Well, she did, but this guy here is, he feels like he's Filipino,
so therefore he's transitioning to be Filipino.
Right.
What did you want to ask Brent about that? I was just wondering.
I just want to know.
No, I kind of
feel foreclosure. Just
I don't know what a Filipino feels like.
Irish.
Just the procedure. I don't know what this
German
Irish.
I want some of this.
I want to have my own casino.
This guy really lived free for a year and a half. I mean, he really did.
Oh,
he doesn't understand he's ahead of the game.
I bet he's had a bankruptcy in the last 7.
He said he did.
Really? God, why wouldn't he file in this then?
Well, but why would he?
As soon as he got served on the foreclosure, I mean, that could have gave him.
Why are we having this conversation 12 hours before the damn...
Well, that part doesn't even matter. That's just signing the title over. The judge will do that.
Did he say what the house was worth?
No, I'm going to find out.
It doesn't. It's gone.
No, I understand, but would you have looked at it?
You see, way back when he said they wouldn't take the payment.
You've heard of that. And I don't think there's...
They were sick of him being late. I mean, that's basically what it came down to. They wanted to cut it at that point.
I know my wife's sister lost her home, and she didn't make a payment for like 14 months. And she was trying to go through that home affordable shit, too.
It was all bullshit back then.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
all fucking bullshit.
Yeah. They were taking off right and left and saying, they allowed you to make a lower payment and never bugged you and then foreclosed.
The people behind us in Castle Rock.
They asked you for the lump sum, and in a year and a half, they said, oh, by the way, you never qualified.
Yeah.
You need the lump sum.
And it's too late. The people behind us, when we lived in Castle Rock, they rented their house out, so we knew the renters, okay? It was a nice house, too, man. They were paying like $2,500, $3,000 a month. He was in foreclosure. They didn't even know it. So he was taking their payments for like 17, 18 months, putting them in his pocket. Next thing they know, the bank was knocking. But the bank gave them, you ready for this? The bank said, listen, if you guys move out in 30 days,
they didn't want a loss.
We'll give you 10 grand.
Yeah, they didn't want
so the fucking bank gave them 10 grand to go find another place to rent.
Just because they didn't want a lawsuit. They wanted the house. And by the time the acquisition cost, they figured it was worth it.
It was worth 10 grand, yeah. There was a lot of that shit going on. I'll tell you, 08 was crazy.
I cannot believe how I bent over backwards to pay every bill I had before the final day.
In hindsight, I don't think you should have, but whatever.
Well, because I didn't get any credit for it. I mean, it's like nobody gave a shit. I went to every single credit. I paid off every single credit card. I paid off every...
In fact, you almost got in trouble for doing that in certain ways.
Well,
Not trouble, but...
When I paid that, that one, Bank of America would not take my payment. He said...
And then they bitched at you.
I said, well, it's not fraud. This is post-petition. This is, like, that's right. It was the week of. And they said, well, how can you have this much money post-petition? I said, fuck you. Just take the money. I mean, what do you care? And they said that was fraudulent, that I was trying to pay them off.
But then they wanted to get paid off.
The only reason they would take, I had to take the payment, and I had to sign a fraud saying that they released me from fraud. And I said, no, or that I'm not committing fraud. So I said, no. I said, here's your payment, take it or leave it. They wouldn't take it, and then they sued me for it. They honest to God did. They sent 4 attorneys down from Seattle to fight me for a payment I was willing to pay. And even the judge said, well, why didn't you take it when you offered it? They didn't understand it. Honest to God did. And then the judge said, he said, no, It's included in the bankruptcy assist charge, and made him leave anyways.
I bet.
And the fuckers, it was 12 grand.
Right. Century RV.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Century RV has a brand new place. You know, they have a place, as you know. Century RV has a wonderful place up at I-25 and 119, the 119 turnoff to Longmont. They opened a giant 30,000 square foot place right here in Lakewood, and it's all indoor, just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims, next to Woodley's. They have new travel trailers as low as $99.95 and a huge selection of used Class A's and Class E's and fifth wheels and more. In fact, they have the largest used selection in the state. And on the Big Iron, on some of the new stuff, you have discounts of 50 grand. They have a 30,000 square foot showroom, okay? 8 to 6, Monday through Saturday. Century RV is in Lakewood now. CentryRV.com. What a great place to shop. Can you imagine all of this used stuff in one big giant location? No matter what the weather's doing, you'll be indoors. CentryRV.com for more information. And if you want to give them a quick call, 303-453-1111 is the main number. Okay, Bud is losing his house. Now, there is some good news, and I don't mean to, by the way, to make this sound lighter than it is, but the good news is, Bud, you were not irresponsible. You put money away during this time. You got to live a year and a half without making a payment. So that's an advantage a lot of people don't have when they have a foreclosure, right? I mean, you do see the silver lining in this, right?
Well, sure.
Yeah.
There was one question that I had.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what exact question did you have? Because tomorrow is more or less a formality. What question did you have?
Okay, well, one of the reasons that we did not communicate with the lender, one, they refused to communicate. We sat on it probably a little too long.
Yeah, none of that matters now, see, because all of the deadlines expired. None of that matters.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But so we had put our trust in the Home Affordable program.
Yeah.
And we're given some terrible advice.
Exactly. And I wish, oh God, I wish you would have called us back then.
Oh, I wish I had.
And listen, Bud, you know, this, you don't owe me an explanation, and I understand, you know, things happen, but whatever happened, no matter what happened, I mean, literally, if they were lying in the very beginning about you being late and refusing to take your payment, there's really nothing we can do about it now. I mean, truly, there isn't, because that is all water under the bridge, as they say.
Right. So,
what is the house worth right now?
We were told it's worth about $350.
And what do you owe on it? If you
$216 was what the last note I saw.
$216 is what you actually owed, plus any default and penalties.
Right.
Yeah. And so if they sold the house, I'll bet you that I can almost bet you they got more than $216 for it. So
sure.
That's why you have no deficiency. And in fact, did you know if they actually collect more, they may want you to sign something, because if they collect more than was owed, you get the rest? In other words, let's say that they got $320 for it. And after you're all paid out, all of your penalties and attorney's fees and everything, if it comes to $280, you would literally have money coming back.
Okay, well, speaking of money coming back, that was one of my main questions. This Home Affordable program, they charged us close to $9,000 to do.
Who did?
Literally nothing.
Who did?
Home Affordable, HAP.
How did they charge it? What do you mean they charged you?
They said that there were, for that amount of money, that they could set things right. And
well, I think you got ripped off by another company.
Well, I did.
Home Affordable doesn't take money from you.
Well, that was the name that was on the paperwork. I was letting my wife deal with it, and so I don't have a lot of.
Some company ripped you off. Some company ripped you off.
So what my question was,
well, find out. Yeah, get me all the paperwork on that for sure, man. Get me all that paperwork, Bud. Now, Bud, you know, you need to get the money that you have. I mean, if they don't come after you, I don't think they will, because I don't think you have a deficiency, which is even better. You don't have to rush into another house right now. But you're going to have terrible credit problems, so you're going to need a friend to help sign for something. But if you have money to put down, you know, you can protect that money should somebody try to come after you. But I don't think you're going to have even a deficiency. You're in one of these situations where you may even have money coming back. You have to demand all of the paperwork from the sale to make sure it was an arm's length transaction when it was sold, and that you are truly paid up, and that if there's any excess funds, you're going to get paid.
And who do I go after for that? Or who?
Well, they should just do it. It should. See, there's a couple ways banks foreclose. If the bank actually bought it for what they were owed at a public auction and got away with it, most of the time in this market that won't happen. Then they can resell it and they don't have to pay you anything.
Well, if the lender was self-funded.
It doesn't matter. If the lender bought the house for what was owed and then resells it, it's not really a foreclosure sale. It's a resale. The foreclosure sale happened when the lender bought it. This is something a lot of people don't catch. But that sale where they buy it, see, the banks always bid what they're owed, always. Always, because they don't want to be ripped off. So in other words, if I'm owed $250,000, I'm going to bid $250,000 on that home. I will, on my own home. And if I buy it, then I get to own it and I get to sell it. So
understandable, that's business.
And by buying it, I don't have to pay myself anything. I just extinguish the note and then resell it. So I'm hoping they didn't do that. I'm hoping, because normally in this market people are looking for foreclosure sales, so banks don't get away with doing that because it's usually for sale they can get it for way more than the bank's willing to pay. So if the bank put it up for sale and wanted to buy it, you have to make sure they advertised it properly. You have to make sure they didn't keep it close to the vest so they could buy it at a cheap price to resell it. I have a feeling there's a lot for you to look at. So you need to look at when it was, if this is the guy that owns it now, was it actually the foreclosure sale, exactly how much was paid, was it purchased from the bank? There's all kinds of stuff for you to look into to find out if you have money coming. And, you know, I'll help you if you get me the paperwork, David. I mean, this is what, not David, Bud, this is what I do to help people. So hold on. And Suzanne, he's got to get all of the information I request. And if anything's missing, then we need more. And what we'll find out, if this was an arm's length transaction and sold for true market value, you're going to get a lot of money, which is odd in a foreclosure, but it can happen. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. If you're looking for a beautiful kitchen, look no further than Art of Granite. I should just say Art of Mitch Floria, the owner. Mitch started this company years ago as a Romanian immigrant. He came to America in 2003. Yeah, and in 14 years, he has built it into a wonderful company serving the entire Front Range and mountain communities 7 days a week in Golden. Give him a call. You'll love the way he does business. First of all, wholesale on all counter material, no matter what it is. You can buy it from him, or you can use his wholesale account anywhere you find stuff you like. He charges only for the fabrication and installation, and what he does in the kitchen, he'll do in your bathroom free at the same time. Now, if you want, of course, cabinets, it's a small markup from the manufacturer, so you can do both. But whatever you do in the kitchen, he does in the bathroom free. And remember this, all tear out and haul away is free as well. You don't do better than artofgranite.net. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919. artofgranite.net.
This report is brought to you.
Frank Durant could probably find out what that thing sold for, right?
Yeah, well, anybody can. It's all going to be public. Listen, the last thing they're going to do is hide it. Here's the sale that usually is. How much time do I have? Here's the problem usually is the very first sale. Did the bank not really publicize it and they bought it themselves so they can resell it? But normally now, foreclosure buyers are very astute and they'll go in when a bank wants to bid just what they're owed and they'll bid more.
I just don't. He must have got somebody just scammed him out and said they were a HFA company.
he got screwed out of $9 grand for sure.
Sure, absolutely. And that probably thought that they could just get by with all this.
I see this guy that feels Filipino now. This is the guy. What does he look like?
Hey, he looks Filipino.
He's a little heavy to be a Filipino.
A little tall, a little heavy,
looks a little full,
a little white. He showed up to a coffee shop to open up about his new identity.
Used to be Adam. Now he's Jadu.
He's Tuk Tuk.
No, that's the name of his car.
Turns out to be a purple ride he drives around. You're right. He actually gives a name to his car, Tuk Tuk. Jesus.
You stole that from me. My car's named Tuk Tuk.
Jadu is part of a small but growing community of people who consider themselves transracial.
So if I say...
I'll be damned. Something I didn't know existed yesterday now existed.
I'm going to tell my son he better become American Indian so he gets his education paid for.
I mean,
dental care, you know?
How are these fucking kids so bored? I mean, you've got to really be bored to come up with something like this.
I mean, I agree. I mean, I'm really feeling in tune with, you know, I eat a lot of Mexican. I eat Santiago's burritos like 3 days a week.
Well, this guy says whenever he's around music
I'm going to check your...
and around food.
God, Tom was spouting off about the sombrero the other day. Did y'all hear that?
Who, me?
Yes, you. What were you saying about the sombrero? He's talking about the fucking dog.
They couldn't get the dog in the contract, so they put a sombrero on him. Called the Mexican. They got or something. I remember that.
I was driving down the road. I'm like, no, he did not.
It happens.
Come right through.
This fucking guy is crazy.
Who is?
This guy is actually transracial.
I'm telling you.
He's a
Oh no,
white guy.
is that true?
Yeah. I'm reading the whole fucking article. He's transitioning into a Filipino.
I don't think I lie about
bullshit!
This.
I swear to God.
It's for real.
It is fucking for real. When he's around music and food, he feels out of his own skin. Sometimes he watches the History Channel for
hours.
hours.
We're asking for in this country.
I know, man.
We're
fucking everything
absolutely.
up. Yeah, we're fucking
But
everything.
Jadu and his little tuk-tuk will be just fine because there'll be some protected class for his ass.
This is a woman.
No, it's not. Named Adam?
It says, after she appeared on the episode of Dr. Phil, the terms transracial started to become more widely known.
That's the black lady.
I'm feeling black right now.
Rachel
Okay.
Dolezal.
Can I feel black?
Yes, you can feel whatever makes you feel good, Tom. If you want to identify
I want to
with
be
black
transracial.
Tell your kids to be American Indians so they get their education free.
Your race can make you more marketable and, in some cases, eligible for certain benefits.
Not if you're transracial, for God's sake.
Well, what would the difference be? If you're transgender, that's your new gender. Why would that be any different?
I'm going to be
How are you feeling today?
trans-alien.
Iranian.
Tom's going to
I'm
go
feeling
over.
Iranian.
Tom's going to identify with this ladies' man.
You look North Korean.
My son is now called Walking Wolf.
What?
Walking Wolf. He's going to get a free education.
Walking Wolf.
He's from the Sioux tribe.
Farting coyote or something.
Something really cool.
That's his name. Something cool.
Can you imagine this? Yeah. And you put down American Indian and says, what's your percentage?
That is like the old. Remember that older
100%.
joke in the book, Dad? How to get my name? He says, "Well, my name, Running Deer. My parents saw Running Deer." I heard that.
No,
and then your cousin, Strong Buffalo. He saw Strong Buffalo, and why do you ask? Do dogs fucking?
Damn it! I might name my son Two Dogs. Seriously, I wonder.
Those old jokes are so stupid.
So you got to rechange that in your birth filter?
Genesis Total Exteriors. If you're looking for a contractor that won't take your money and run, oh my goodness, we hear this every day. Use the referral list at referralist.com and you'll find Genesis Total Exteriors and Interiors. He does both. Yeah, he's busy because he does it the right way. But it'll be worth it if you wait. Really, if you have to wait. Now, sometimes on some of the jobs you can get. He has those, by the way, passive solar windows that pay for themselves, even if you don't have a solar system. You got to ask about it. They wire it into the grid, and you get credit for them over the years. 303-679-8509, 679-8509, GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Okay, so, listen. That thing about foreclosure was so complicated, I probably lost people. Here's the bottom line. The bank's owed money, and you owe it. The bank puts the house up for sale. If they buy it for what they're owed, they get to keep that house and sell it for anything they want. If they sell it for $200,000 more, you don't get that money. But if someone finds out about the sale and bids more, and if it pays off the loan and then some, you actually get the extra proceeds. Now, banks try to keep the first foreclosure sale very quiet. And then when they're reselling it, they like to make a lot of noise to get as many bidders as possible. And that's really important. If you can prove the bank did not publicize that sale wide enough, you can raise hell. Because it's supposed to be an arm's length transaction, highly publicized, and the highest bidder. It's supposed to be market value.
You know, I'm reading about this white guy that is transitioning into being Filipino.
We're going to talk
I'm
about,
not kidding
no,
either.
We can talk about that another time, because these people have been waiting so long. I want to try to get to them. Did we ever hear from Split Rail Fence on how long they wait, on how long they're out, Suzanne? Did we get an answer from them?
They're supposed to call me back.
Okay, so we're going to get back to Phil. Gary, what's going on with you, sir? What's going on, Gary?
Thank you for taking my call.
What's happening? Oh, Phil's another one with Split Rail. Okay, I'm sorry. That Phil's not the original. Okay. Gary, what's going on with you?
Okay, I go to an RV park in Colorado.
Yes.
The same one for 10 years, probably.
Yes.
Very nice park. I normally go for a month in May.
Where is it located?
September. Along the Arkansas River.
Okay. And so what's the problem?
Well, this year I made reservations for May, back in January, as a deposit. And I get there, and the owner, very nice people, very nice park.
Yeah.
The owner offers me to be one of their annual renters. And what that does, instead of paying $500 a month for a single month, you pay $225 year-round. Okay?
Okay, well,
which is a good deal.
What's the point? Because I don't want to run out of time. What happened?
Okay, well, here's what happened. When I got there and agreed to it, the reason I agreed to it was...
Did you have to pay any extra money for this? Up front?
What?
Did you have to pay a membership up front for this?
No, it's just a month by month.
All right. Gary, I'm never going to get through this in the next 30 seconds, and I would love to talk about it, really. I'm just going to have to do it tomorrow. I want to say, John Fuller, thank you for being here. He's at 303-597-4500.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for talk.
What's that?
Back in war,
and I knew I wouldn't get to it. But if he's an annual renter, what is this complaint? I wonder.
It's got it. They're trying to charge him $500 and not $275. It's got to be.
Well, he pays. I didn't understand. He pays it over.
Hey, Gary. Gary. Clover's still there. I wanted to ask him.
Walgreens has good news.
Was he supposed to just make payments all through the year? Is that what it was?
That'd be cute.
Walgreens accepts Medicare assignment and...
Yeah, but that's a lot more than his $500 for rent. Depends on how many months he stays there.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, it's a real cliffhanger.
Tune in tomorrow.
Right there.
That's it.
For the RV.
And you were there when it went down, John.
You know that space down by the river? Yeah, that's not the one I stay at. You know?
So what's your problem? Well, it has nothing to do with any of this.
I'm not staying there this year.
That would be the best. He gets through all of it and then says, well, anyhow, my problem's with Walmart.
That would be good. A big long story.
Huge. But anyhow, let's get on to my problem.
That was a good story, wasn't it? And it was the same pants.
I'm going to piss people off having to tell you tomorrow.
The very same pants. What do you have on tomorrow?
Yes, but all we're talking is
home weatherization.
Yes, you understand.
And the transracial person.
Oh.
Or
And transracial, I tried to steer you into a real topic.